Guys and ladies out there, check out wethepeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out wethepeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. Wethepeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
The Conservative Cartel.
Hashtag Me Too. Thanks to the excesses of the hashtag Me Too movement, sexual encounters have morphed into an episode of South Park. In the midst of an otherwise romantic night, gals who might be asked to create a so-called consent video so your understandably petrified partner, and it ain't from being hard, can cover his behind against any future false accusations that you may level against him. Now, a consent video is exactly what it sounds like. A woman telling a camera that she is fully on board with you having sex with her once the record button is turned off. Oh, we used to tape things in college and they weren't consent videos, just saying, but oh, is this where we've come? I mean, is this where we're at as a country?
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's D-I-A, thrive.com.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you.
The mothership has landed.
Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, the mighty MoJo 50.
All right, welcome to your Daily Mojo. Lots and lots of stuff to get to as we head down to the Christmas holiday. Excited about the time off.
Whoa, hang on. Before you do anything else, what's with the shirt? And for those who are listening and not watching, is a there you go. It's a T-shirt. The Chevy Chase Show.
The official shirt from the Chevy Chase Show. Look at this.
One of what, 3 that they had printed?
They probably had a lot printed, but they didn't sell a whole lot.
Nor does anyone wear them.
Yes, exactly.
Except you.
Yes.
Huh.
This is how unique.
Uh-huh.
See?
Uh-huh. That's unique, all right.
This shirt is almost 30 years old. What was that, 1992? 93?
Yeah, let's see. So you got it when I was
25,
6.
yeah.
You got it when I was 6 then.
I was 4. So this is a gag. Almost 30 years in the making, Brad.
Yeah. They didn't know at the time, but yes, it is.
I planned this visual joke 25 years ago.
Here's the payoff.
See? Ta-da!
Ta-da! Okay, that's it. We're going home.
You make it seem like it was all not worth it now.
That was back when he was...
No, he wasn't. That's the reason. Brad, the show failed miserably.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It makes the Edsel look like a good idea.
And he's only gotten worse since then.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That is great.
It's a 25. You guys are not giving this joke its due. It almost makes me feel like the last 25 years wasn't worth it.
No, I think it was. I think it totally was. That's perfect. That is perfect. By the way, are we talking to him
I'm bothered by this.
Are we talking to him about getting a show on MoJo?
Listen, I'm not sure we're up to that standard yet. Someday we could dream to be that good.
We could have Chevy on the network.
Hey, the Chevy Chase. We're not even good enough to have the live Chevy Chase. We're going to do reruns of his show from 1992. And by reruns, there's 5 of them. We'll just keep flipping them, right?
Between him and Magic Johnson.
This is good.
That's an antique.
I'm going to wear this out and about. Trust me, people are going to laugh at this. They're going, oh my gosh.
Yep.
I remember that. And it's funny because you have a shirt from there.
One of 3.
I don't think you guys are.
No, that's great.
This is the big moment.
No, I think that's good. That suits you just
a-holes.
No, it's perfect.
This is the reason why I can't be more successful. A lack of support.
No, I don't think
you
that's
don't support anything I do.
No. I support everything you do.
That sounds sarcastic.
No. Why would I be?
That
Ron,
sounds passive aggressive.
Ron, do I not support?
Don't bring guy behind the glass in this.
I wonder how many people out there right now are going, who's Chevy Chase?
Exactly.
So this would have been funnier like 5-10 years ago? If it only been 15, 20 years?
Yeah, I don't know. It's you know what they say about comedy.
No.
It's all about the timing.
Took you a long time to say that.
You see, that was a timing thing. It was
Like that was the joke?
That was the joke.
And you're the guy who's giving me the business about the Chevy Chase show shirt.
In just showing you support, that's all.
Picture it. 1990, year 2000, right in there somewhere.
Ah, yes.
I or somebody I know may have been rifling through the prize closet of WMJI in Cleveland, looking to pilfer it.
Right.
Maybe it was me or probably somebody else.
Could be.
Looking through it saying, oh my gosh, here's gift cards to something or certificates to something else for free meals at maybe Max and Irma's all summer long.
Loved it.
With people that I or other guy worked close with. Anyways.
Right.
And in the bottom, what is this, a Chevy Chase show? That thing was off the air like 7 years ago. It only lasted like a week. Throw it to the side and then idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be kind of funny a couple years from now.
And by a couple, you mean 25.
Well, I didn't know when to pull it out.
Sure you did.
So then I was like, okay, just throw it in the bottom of a box somewhere. 5 years go by, pull it out and say, that could be, not sure if the time's right yet, if people really get it. Today's the day.
Today is it. 2.5 decades later. And ta-da!
And you're telling me this wasn't the moment?
No, I think it is the perfect moment. I can't think of a better moment. It's,
son of a biscuit eater.
31 new. Real Shellback Bo just tweeted, I'm 31. I have no idea who Chevy Chase is. Is she hot?
Well, crap.
The answer to that is no, she's not. She could be. She'd drop a couple pounds.
This sucks.
It's the we've set the stage for the entire day now.
Well, now I don't know what to do with my box of WLW 700 Doc Thompson shirts.
They're funnier than the Chevy Chase show shirts.
That show didn't last as long as Chevy's.
I don't know about that.
Crud.
Chevy Chase.
By the way, I kind of like the idea of standing and doing the show like this.
See? That's why the desk was built this way by the construction team, to make you happy. For the most part.
I don't know. I'm just going to sit down. I don't know what to
do
do now.
It's going to be a good day.
That was a cornerstone of the gag today.
It's going to be a very good day. Any day that starts off with Chevy Chase can only get better. Think of it that way.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to find you a different Christmas gift and get rid of that Rosie O'Donnell show shirt.
Although I'll tell you, the things you can buy with a T-shirt and radio. You know what you could trade that shirt for?
No one.
Oh man!
Could I trade it for something?
Oh yeah. One of the Poltitsky twins would, I'm sure.
It's not twins; they're cousins, and they weren't.
I thought they were twins.
They were not both Poltitskys.
Well,
they were the Candy cousins.
They were same thing.
Candy Quagliata, Candy Poltitsky.
So I said the Poltitsky twins.
Oh my jeez. Okay, let's just move on. You've really ruined my day. You've ruined me this day, Bradley Staggs. Ruined me this Wednesday.
Then my work here is done.
An elementary school principal in Nebraska told teachers not to decorate their classrooms with Christmas ornaments or Christmas-themed items because
somebody's going to get offended.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Winner, Brad Staggs. Well, you are ruining this show.
See? I got your
Somebody may be offended because they may not celebrate Christmas.
Right.
Manchester Elementary School, Jennifer Sinclair is her name. She is the principal. She sent out a memo with guidelines as to what is considered appropriate for classroom decorations and assignments. Keep in mind, she does not represent the school board. She is not the superintendent.
Right.
She is the principal of one school.
Okay.
Who took it upon herself, apparently, to disseminate what is appropriate and what is not to the teachers there.
She took the bull by the horns.
Yes, that's right. And as she put this out and told them all about it, some people thought this was troubling. Some people thought this was a problem. Some did not appreciate her thoughts on this. And it was met with some backlash. Let me explain what the memo said.
All right.
Teachers were told that there were some items that were acceptable and many that were not. Those that were acceptable were generic winter-themed items such as sledding, scarves, and, of course, the Frozen character Olaf. You know, Frozen. So Frozen.
Yeah.
So Frozen is not Christmas-themed. It is winter-themed.
Right.
And that is all acceptable. However, what is not acceptable are decorations that included Santa, Christmas tree, elves, reindeer, green and red colored items. All right. For the next 6 weeks, nothing red, nothing green.
Jeez.
Blue, maybe. But only if it's accompanied by orange.
Wow.
Yes, those are.
Wow.
And also candy canes were banned as well.
Why were candy canes banned?
Well, they were particularly troubling.
How is a candy cane troubling?
Well, if I say candy cane associated with the holiday, go.
Candy cane, it looks like a cane. It's a candy. It's made of candy.
Which it could be any time, and there are times people have them outside of Christmas. But if you really said candy cane word association, I bet a lot of people would say Christmas. So let's not take any chances on possibly offending people, Brad. So that was the first problem. But the real problem is the religious significance of candy canes.
Wait a minute. Candy canes aren't in the Bible. I don't think.
Are you sure? Have you read all of Leviticus?
No, except for that one chapter.
Okay. The religious symbolism.
What would the religious symbolism of a candy cane be?
Okay, picture a candy cane. Like hold your hand up like your finger like candy cane. Turn that upside down.
It's going to be tough.
What is it? It's a candy J.
It is. Okay, if I go.
See?
Oh, yes. If I go that way, it is a candy J.
If you do it the other way, it's a backwards candy J.
It's a fish hook.
Right.
But if I do it that way,
it's a candy J.
Wait a minute.
And what does J stand for?
Are you serious?
Now,
it's almost like what would candy cane do? If you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Candy cane, by the way, not one of the candy twins.
Wow.
Cousins. You got me doing it. Cousins.
See? They're twins.
Yeah, but it's much worse than that. Now, there's people out there right now, as I'm saying this, are going, hold on there, Doc. She's right. But I'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
She said, and she put this specifically in her memo, historically, the shape is a J for Jesus. But it's hidden in cane form.
It's like a hidden Mickey.
Right. She said the red in the candy cane represents...
she going for the blood of Christ?
The blood of Christ. And the white is a symbol of his resurrection.
White is a symbol of the resurrection.
She said in her memo, I feel uncomfortable that I have to get this specific.
Wow.
But for everyone else's comfort, I will. So she was sacrificing there. She felt uncomfortable getting that specific to write about Jesus, inaccurate or not.
Right.
She felt uncomfortable getting specific, even mentioning the blood of Christ. Because, you know,
I think the discomfort she felt was the exertion of muscles digging for the meaning
for
of this
stretching
stuff.
for it.
This is way.
I think the discomfort was when I say his name, I burn. The burn when I mention the blood of Christ. Ow!
This woman, she better be hot because she's crazy.
I don't know, but the point is this, and maybe you're reading this, you're like, Doc, it is. It's true. It's the blood of Christ. If you go back and research candy canes, here's the thing. That has never been proven. In fact, if you check Snopes, for example, they lay it all out. I would caution people about Snopes. Snopes is run by progressives, by the way. Yeah. It really is. So people use it is not the definitive, answer to these things. It doesn't, it's biased in what it bunks and debunks.
Sure it is.
Okay. But being the progressives, if they debunk this, right, what the symbolism is for,
right,
they would be actually on her side to say this is what's going on, to ban, ban the stuff. And if you do the other research and you look around, it's attributed to a couple of different stories throughout history. One of them, I think, dates back to the 1600s. But regardless, none of it's been proven.
They had candy canes in the 1600s?
They had candy sticks. They couldn't afford the full cane.
Candy stick.
And haven't we gotten to a point now in society with development that we would have like candy wheelchairs?
You would think.
Crutches.
You would think
walkers.
So. Yes. Or candy bionic leg, bionic
candy
limb.
robotics and prosthetics.
Yeah. Why
do we just stuck with canes?
That's crazy. You're right. They need to wake up and smell the new millennium.
People stuck in the past.
Yeah.
The best we have is stories from the past, and they are not proven. Now, people will have these memes that circulate now, and they've had stories forever.
Right.
A man in Indiana, and one of them is from Indiana in like, I don't know, the early 1900s or something. None of them proven, okay? Even if it was true, even if those stories are accurate, which it doesn't look like they are, it's fine if you like them and you want to tell the story. It's nice. What does it matter anyway?
Exactly. That's the
You understand there are things like, before Lent, there are breads and stuff that people eat before Lent to use up stuff before fasting, right? Before the fasting period of Lent, or certain foods like punchkis, for example. We've talked about that. The little jelly donuts. So you're using up the
punchkis.
Punchkis, the little jelly. We've had this discussion before. You just don't remember.
We've never discussed.
On Fat Tuesday, eat punchkis.
I've never eaten a punchki on a Fat Tuesday.
We're talking about Christmas now. We'll get to Easter down the road. We got a couple of months, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, you've had a punchki. You may not have known it, but you had it.
Once, and I was in college, and I didn't think anybody was looking.
How you doing, Brad? You're pretty hot. Punchki.
Wow.
I'm going to call you punchki. I'm going to roll up in here.
Cost extra.
Lay down my punchki. They're jelly donuts. Anyway.
Bet they are.
Even if they are, these things are all around. You tell kids not to eat candy canes? Because you can't just stop at decorations in the room, right?
No.
You're that sensitive. So this teacher doesn't even have the sense, this principal, not just a teacher, somebody who's the boss of the other teachers there,
right,
doesn't even have the sense to simply go online and look it up. She was misinformed. She's not even bright enough to use Snopes, which is a progressive website.
And here's one story that goes back 250 years to Germany.
Yeah, that's the main one that goes back.
And you're right. They started off as sticks.
They did. They had to bend them, right.
And they kept breaking. They didn't know how to bend them. But for another 100 years, they figured out how to bend them.
But even so, how do you police all of this? And what the hell does it matter with you anyway?
It's crazy.
See, here's the thing. Let's say a teacher decorates her room with these symbols. I mean, forget Christmas trees and candy canes.
Right.
With and if children are listening, maybe you cover their ears. A cross. What about that? Or a picture of, I'll speak in code, Jesus.
Would that be the Barry Manilow Jesus or the Bee Gees Jesus?
It's the Bee Gees Jesus.
Okay, all right.
So let's say you do that. What's the problem? Oh, I've got it. You might be Sikh or Hindu or Jewish or Muslim or atheist or whatever, and you want your kids there. You know what you could do? You just have them put in another class. How about that? You do that.
You could do that, yeah.
And by the way, that's not a teacher teaching the religion, certainly around a holiday.
No.
It's asinine.
This is looking for symbolism where there isn't any. You can make anything a symbol of anything.
Once this memo and policy went to the public, as I mentioned, there was some resistance from the public.
That's shocking.
They were a little upset by this. The Elkhorn School District said that, quote, and they had to put out a whole press release, the memo, and here's the good news, the memo does not reflect the policy of Elkhorn Public Schools regarding holiday symbols in the school.
Well, good for them.
They went on to say that their policy clearly states, and I can even send you a link to it, Christmas tree, Santa, and Easter eggs, bunnies, all of these things are acceptable. There you go. Because they're considered secular. Hey, religious folks, don't worry.
Oh, wow.
You're allowed to put those things in because we don't consider that part of your religion. For a minute, you're the
there's some hope.
Right.
There's a little hope.
You're a parent in the district, and you're like, oh, thank God. At least there's a little bit of good because it's considered secular, seasonal symbols, and they may, in fact, be displayed as teaching aids provided They do not disrupt the instructional program for the students.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
I mean, you know, all of those Christmas trees that are used as teaching aids.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All of those displays.
Yeah.
'Cause all those, you know, winter scenes and that, those are all used for teaching.
Yeah, I remember
aids.
back in the day that we used to sit around the Christmas tree and learn about the history of California. The missionaries coming. No, we didn't learn about the missionaries. Can't teach that on a Christmas tree.
No, because they were, what's that, based on their faith? Catholic and whatnot?
Those doggone Catholics trying to take over everywhere. This is just every year. Every year.
This is just nuts. But the reason, I think the biggest issue here is this principal would so be, and is so misinformed, yet they would elevate her to the position of principal. The fact that she's teaching it all, and you have teachers that are this obtuse.
But this happens everywhere. It's always, how is it that the idiots seem to be able to get to the uppermost positions? They're always in management.
Why would you not, in today's world, when these stories come up so often, not just about Christmas, but what is appropriate in school, why would you not have an orientation, a reminder every year
first of all,
of what is acceptable?
You use the word orient. You can't do that.
Not orient, orientation.
What's the first word in the orientation?
Orient.
Thank you.
Not orient.
You can't do that.
Not orientation.
Jeez.
Oh, orientation.
I'll get a few calls.
Orientation. Why wouldn't you say, hey, teachers, by the way, it doesn't matter what your religion is. Here's what's acceptable. Here's what the Supreme Court has ruled. Here's what our... But the reason they don't is because it's run by the people who really want teachers like this trying to keep this stuff out. And it's not for the good of all, so we're all accepted. They simply rebuke Christianity. That's all that this is about.
Yeah. That's it in a nutshell.
By the way, the principal was placed on administrative leave. That administrative leave is a paid administrative leave.
So she got some vacation.
She got some vacation.
Nice.
I don't know how long she will be vacationing. I do not know. They did not say that because, see, they want this to go away and want her to come back. Likely, that's their...
And what's her name? Jennifer...
Sinclair.
She's got to be hot. I mean, that's... if she's not, then it's
Jennifer Sinclair, Manchester Elementary School in Nebraska. By the way, it's Nebraska. This isn't, by the way, San Francisco Unified School District. This isn't Manhattan schools. This is Nebraska. Do you get any more red, rural, Christian?
No.
By the way, the war on Christmas continues with the song. This isn't even the war on Christmas. This is more the war on men with the "Baby It's Cold Outside" theme song that was banned by a bunch of the radio stations.
Yep.
So another radio station, I think this one in Kentucky, went on a full 2-day nonstop playing of "Baby It's Cold Outside."
I read something about that.
I mean, they're just looking for publicity.
Yes.
And God bless them. Good.
It worked.
Right. And at least, so you're smart enough to do it. Number two, you're doing it by playing the song, so you're making a stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's Kentucky, so that makes me feel a little better.
Aha!
Mm-hmm. Did you find Jennifer Sinclair?
I did, and look at the eyes.
Oh, she is Fruit Loops.
Yeah. She's got the crazy eyes.
She's got those look. We'll ban candy canes.
She's got.
Oh my gosh.
She has. She looks a lot like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the same look in her eye. Wow. Okay, well that answers that question.
What about the other songs though? We touched on it a little bit, but there's so many potentially troubling songs out there.
Especially when you
I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah.
Minors being exposed to softcore porn, condoning cheating. Although that's okay right now, right? Cheating's okay. There's no...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If your spouse is an a-hole.
What about the Christmas song? Nat King Cole, how's that start?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost.
Was it back up? Chestnuts.
Chestnuts.
Right.
Roasting.
On.
An open fire.
Burning.
Okay.
You're burning. You're polluting.
That's a good point. Crap, especially in light of California.
Jeez, exactly. And by the way, people dressed up like Eskimos.
Oh, that's such cultural
appropriation. Thank you. How about that Burl Ives classic, Have a Holly Jolly Christmas?
It's making fun of fat people.
No. Kiss her once
or twice
for me.
Oh.
It's the unwanted advances, isn't that right?
Whoa.
Hashtag me too.
And that starts getting kinky. You want me to kiss her for you? Are you trying to kiss her through me?
No, that's okay, because that gets into some kinky stuff. But maybe she doesn't want to be kissed.
Yeah.
You didn't ask her, do you want to be kissed for him?
Right. Well, it's hard for her to answer when there's a ball gag in her mouth.
See, same thing.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that right there. That's it. Hashtag me too.
Right.
White Christmas. Well, I think we got that.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Peeping Tom, Stalker.
Oh, yeah.
How?
Yeah, he's coming down your chimney.
No. When does he see you?
Ooh, he does see you when you're sleeping.
And he knows what?
He knows when you're awake.
There it is.
He is. Oh.
By the way, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Everyone telling you be of good cheer.
Right. How's that? What?
You're telling people the mood they should be in. Right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be
true.
more sensitive to mental illness and depression?
How are you? Yeah.
I mean, Rudolph, we already know. They've already told us many times that's about bullying.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snow. Snow women.
See, that's so obvious that sometimes...
You know how you can tell the difference? The snowballs. Do you hear what I hear?
What?
No, the song.
Oh, the song. No,
you're going to the lyrics. No. Do you hear what I hear?
Oh, are we? Oh,
that's very insensitive to the hearing impaired.
Man,
a merry little Christmas, Mary.
See,
it goes on and on.
They're right in your face, and you
here's
just don't
what I
see
say:
them.
we just ban all of it. It's the only way to be truly safe.
I agree.
A free exchange of ideas. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. After 2 years of the Mueller investigation, the only collusion I've seen is between Democrats and the media to try and get rid of Donald Trump. Listen to this, and it's only from 2017.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Today is a turning point. Today was historically bad for President Trump.
Today was a turning point.
A turning point.
We're at a turning point here.
The beginning of the end for the Trump presidency.
The beginning of the end.
And breaking news.
We have another bombshell.
Mike Pence might have to assume the office of the presidency.
The call for impeachment.
Rumblings of the word impeachment.
Breaking news.
Another bombshell out of the White House.
I believe this is the beginning of the end.
I do too.
It's really the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
He may be feeling the walls closing in on him.
All the walls closing in on him.
The walls closing in on him.
Breaking news, a new bombshell.
One astrologer says this means the beginning of the end for President Donald Trump.
The beginning of the end of the Trump presidency.
Trump will resign.
Trump is going to resign.
Is this the tipping point? I know we've said it over and over.
You think this is a tipping point?
And over and over.
This is a tipping point.
And over and over.
Breaking news, President Trump off the rails.
There's the beginning of the end today.
The beginning of the end.
It reminds me a lot of the last days of Nixon.
Breaking news tonight, new bombshell.
This is the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
The walls are closing in.
The walls closing in.
The walls closing in.
Breaking overnight bombshell.
This is a very dramatic day, and I think it might be near a tipping point. Do you think this is a tipping point?
This is unbelievable. This is remarkable. Have you ever seen anything like this?
His presidency is crippled.
Like I said, collusion. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com. You ready for Christmas? You ready to go? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Sure is.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Man.
Brad Staggs now on his love of Christmas and the holiday season.
I love the holidays. And so do people like maple syrup and blueberry jam.
You really kind of sidestepped that.
Yeah, didn't I? So if baby,
you stick around here? You can stay around town here? Just around the house?
Let's, these...
that guy behind the glass wants to know.
Look at this.
That guy in the next room wants to know what you're doing for Christmas.
If Baby It's Cold Outside is the date rape song, wouldn't Santa Baby be the extramarital affair extortion song?
It's Gold Digger song.
It is a Gold Digger song. Slip a sable under the tree. How the hell are you going to get a car? Well, who wants a Mercury sable?
No, it's the animal, which brings up the whole PETA trouble, too.
Oh, it's an animal.
Yeah, you're killing an animal to be warm, and then you're just slipping under the tree for Christmas, you gold digger.
Oh.
I'm more troubled by I'll be home for Christmas. You know who's not going to be home for Christmas?
Who?
The homeless. There's no way they can be home for Christmas. They are homeless.
Is it wherever they lay their head, their home?
No, it's not. It's insensitive to the homeless.
Side of things.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer. When's the last time you heard that? Because they made a serious effort to never play that again about 4 years ago.
Yeah, they still played it.
I'm not objecting it, but you really do not hear it that much.
No, because it got annoying after 30 years.
Right. It
was funny. I remember when it came out.
1,000 times.
Yes. It was
Yeah, that's a problem for many reasons, obviously. Yes. What do you call killing old people? Is that gendericide?
Yes, it is
senior
now.
Side?
Yes, senior side. Senior side.
All
old
right.
people side.
What about Winter Wonderland? Parson Brown? Demanding they get married?
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And most of these really push the idea of cisgender unions.
Right. Right. That's a good point, too.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Everywhere you
What does Jen get? Janice and Jen.
Oh, yeah.
And what does Barney and Ben get? Gender-specific gifts is what they're talking about.
That's not what Barney got in my neighborhood.
That's very different, but you see what I'm saying? It's promoting forced giving of gender-specific gifts.
Right.
Hey, maybe Jen wants a pistol.
Maybe.
And by the way, it mentions pistols, right? Boots and pistols and that. Dolls for the girls. Boots and guns, really?
Right. Maybe she wants the G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu grip.
I guess
What's wrong with that?
You know what? I know what Brad Staggs wants for Christmas. Aside from just peace and quiet and not to be on the road traveling, is Relief Factor.
Oh!
Bags and bags of Relief Factor because it gives him relief.
It does.
It is a factor that gives him relief. This is actually a great company founded by some really good people who are trying to do some good. The company does, they don't tell you a lot about it, so we will, and they didn't say to bring it up in their commercial, but they give a lot to charity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. They give a lot to charity. Yeah, the Talbots are pretty amazing people, and even adoption around the world. It's pretty amazing what they do with the money that they make.
And it's not like, hey, I'm just going to send a bunch of money away to a charity so people can do good. That's nice when you do that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But they're active in helping. And the reason that's important because we're supposed to, as people that care about our fellow human beings, in fact, just about every faith, you're supposed to connect with the suffering of your fellow human being and to put yourself out in order to make their life better. So when you are actually volunteering and working, it's hard, it's difficult to harden your heart when you're there.
Randy Ross, Quarter Flash, 1986.
Okay. You're forcing yourself to see the pain and suffering.
Yes.
And that is what we're supposed to, Boo, but it's difficult.
Well, and most people now think the government is supposed to help you through your pain and suffering.
Not the Talbots. They're out there doing it themselves, and they have a great product in Relief Factor.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Relief Factor. If you're in chronic pain, and that's pain that goes on for days, weeks, months, sometimes even years, and you've tried everything, and nothing seems to work, you haven't tried Relief Factor. Because I thought the same thing 5 years ago when I started taking it. And once you get the Quick Start Pack for $20, and you take it as directed, and it's 2 packets, twice a day, 1 packet twice a day. Do that for 3 weeks. See if it works for you. See if you're out of pain, and if you are out of pain, I would recommend you get more, or go back to the sucky pain part of life and, sit there and complain about it.
Yep.
But it's really simple to go to relieffactor.com, or you can even call them if you have questions, 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384, and you too can be out of pain shortly before the new year.
Just give it a try.
Yeah.
We've told you about it for years, and we're
if you haven't done it
believers
now,
in it. Yeah, I don't know what you're waiting for.
There's something wrong with
ReliefFactor.com, 800-500-8384. All right, let's get to some communiques now. Visit the social media platforms.
I don't know about Jane, but Barbie wants a G.I. Joe. That's real shellback bow.
Okay, I like that.
That's
good.
Well, no. That's cisgender. That's cisgender right there. Barbie wants a G.I. Joe. Why can't G.I. Joe want a G.I. Joe?
He's not saying she doesn't want something else. And there's many Barbies.
He just
and many...
said Barbie wants a G. How does he know what the hell Barbie wants?
Maybe his Barbie does want G.I. Joe.
Maybe Barbie wants another Barbie.
Barbie may want another Barbie, but he's talking about one in particular.
I'd get behind that, though.
See, I don't see that as him saying that Barbie can't want or another one.
Obviously,
he may be speaking for his Barbie, and he knows what he
homophobe
and maybe by Barbie, he's talking, euphemism. Maybe Joe's a euphemism.
Oh, I hadn't thought about it that way.
I call it my little Barbie.
You kinky little trashy.
It could be anything.
Wow,
I didn't see that
what
as that troubling.
Deviant scumbag he is.
I know. He's pretty sneaky that way.
I like that. I was able to avoid Last Christmas, the diehard of songs, until yesterday. That was stinky. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Have you done? Oh,
he's dead.
I hate this.
He's dead.
There's updated versions of his song.
No, there's an updated version of Last Christmas?
Yes, there's about 40 versions of it.
Wow, I've been blessed to miss each one of them.
I am hesitant to bring this up because I can sum up of what I'm about to say in one word: old. I'm old. That's what this is. What you're about to hear now, folks, is me being old. And I recognize that up front, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong. Remember, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
They are out.
I recognize, I'm admitting it up front, this is about being old. What is wrong with having a Christmas station on that actually plays Christmas carols that are a little bit about the actual intent of the season? Listen, I have no problem with some songs that are secular, Frosty and Last Christmas and whatever. That's fine. Some of those are good songs, not. When's the last time you turned on one of those Christmas stations, even the ones on like satellite channels and live streaming that play Hark the Herald Angel or Away in a Manger or It Came Upon a Midnight Clear or Silent, any of these, they don't exist anymore.
No, they're all those older songs are kind of dirgy.
Well, no, because they even updated some over the years to make a little more modern. And you're right, dirgy, fine. Some of them are up. Joy to the World, you don't even hear that. The reason you don't is because they're religious.
Yeah.
But you can't, my golly, people, as the Christmas stations, can you at least come up with a Christmas station that at least plays all of those things? No.
They're terrified of it.
They are.
They won't do it because of the...
It's all Last Christmas and Baby It's Cold Outside and all this stuff that it really has nothing to do with Jesus. And I'm not even saying the song has to be Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. It doesn't have to be that.
Right.
But what's wrong with Away in a Manger is not a nice song. Hark the Herald Angels is a great song.
Yes, I agree. They're nice songs, but they are terrified. The stations are terrified of playing these things. They're terrified of the blowback. And the problem is now you can't play either. You can't play the secular ones, the Baby It's Cold Outside, or the faith-based songs. We're going to get to a point where you can't play a damn thing.
It used to be if you heard Christmas songs, you'd have some silly ones like Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer or whatever, which is pretty anti-Christmas when you think about it. Murder and such. But
they didn't murder her.
Yes.
The reindeer just got...
She had claws marks on her and hoof prints.
That doesn't make it murder.
It was an accident.
She was in the wrong
at least
place.
Manslaughter.
She was in
and by that I mean grandma slaughter.
She was in the wrong place, the wrong
Maybe, but there's some personal responsibility in flying the sled. I think that's the point, right?
Okay.
I mean, it may not be first degree, but it's at least second degree manslaughter.
Okay, I can't argue with that.
Okay. Although she stumbled out into the cold after drinking, so maybe you're off the hook. She was drunk.
She had at least some culpability in the accident.
You're right.
Just saying.
Your Honor, we drop all charges against Mr. Claus.
And I'm not honored, just so you know.
But a little bit of these used to be, though, that you'd hear some of the classics, and then you'd hear whatever. And I'm not saying the songs, it doesn't have to be the old versions.
Right.
I'm saying just some that are religious in nature, a few. 10%. Can you do that? Instead, you know what they do? It's all the secular ones, like Last Christmas, and then the new artists recording new versions of them.
Yeah.
I have heard like 6 different versions of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Which, by the way, is really not Christmas at all. It just happens to be where he himself carved the roast beast and during Christmas time. But the song just mentions Mr. Grinch.
Yeah, that's
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
That's
There's several new versions of this. Used to be that was the throwaway. You may have gone all Christmas without hearing that song.
Yeah, that's true. But the Grinch has become a big marketing tool. Huge.
Well, because you've got another new cartoon about it. But even the last few years before that cartoon came out, even Snoopy's Christmas, the Red Baron.
Yeah. You don't hear that song much anymore either.
You know why? And you're right. That's pretty secular, right? It's about Snoopy. It's about a World War II. Why wouldn't you?
Is it war?
From the church bells from the village below.
Oh.
The message, when you really think about it, as silly as this. Remember the Royal Guardsmen?
Yeah.
It was the night before Christmas and all through the town, right? It's because of the message at that moment. What inspired the bloody Red Baron to not shoot him down in that?
The church
or
bells,
was it the church bells from the village below?
Right. Yeah. It's
Folks, that's horrible.
We're in trouble.
If you want a secular Christmas, that's fine. That's okay. But in your personal life, but to drive this, even it's the court of public opinion, right? People saying they're offended by this stuff. When would we ever say, hey, you Muslims, it's cool if you're going to do that Ramadan, but we want your Ramadan to have nothing to do with your faith.
Right.
We want all of your Ramadan songs to be about, I fell in love during the last fasting.
Mm-hmm.
This fasting, I'm going to give you my heart. Next fasting, you threw it away. Right? I mean.
And here's the think about what you just said. A secular Christmas.
Right. It did be secular.
Secular Christmas.
Okay. Come on in, Jews. Here's the thing. You want to put up your menorah and stuff? That's cool. Because you know what? We respect you and your faith. But we want this Hanukkah to have nothing to do with your faith. Okay? More about when you took part in Hanukkah celebrations past, that there was a possibility that you were going to be macking on somebody.
Right.
That's what we want.
Yes. And gifts. It has to be about gifts.
Oh, and maybe a cartoon-like character that talks about what a douchebag somebody else is and how much they hate them.
Yeah. It's not gonna. I know. We
accepted it.
We're all going to just burst in flames, out in flames one day.
I think it was 2 years ago at when I first noticed it at church. Maybe it was 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We actually sang Christmas carols as part of church service, and I was like, "Oh, we sang Away in a Manger." Oh my gosh, I know this one.
Did it feel odd?
It did. I was like, it almost felt inappropriate. I was like, Away in a Manger. Oh, I'm in church.
It's okay.
I actually did to do the math in my head. I went like this. Why are we singing Christmas songs in church? I'm not kidding. I really thought that.
See?
And then because it's also so tied with my childhood. You know, the childhood getting gifts from Santa and everything from Christmas, which that's all fine too, you know.
Sure.
That I was like, it almost felt like cheating on church. It'd be like, hey, today in church, during the service, we didn't listen to that homily. We didn't do that. Today, we all played catch. Just toss the pigskin around right there in the room there. Just right up by the altar, just threw the pigskin around.
Right.
The sanctuary, we just pushed the altar out of the way, put that in the end zone, a little touch football game.
Yep. You know, the reason for the season.
Yeah. What did that have to do with church? Nothing. That's what it almost did. I was like, oh my gosh, no. Guess what they came upon on a midnight clear? Jesus!
You can't say that out loud.
It's like,
I was like,
away in a manger.
And
keep it down. I don't want to see me. Hope they don't film me actually singing Christmas carols in church.
And that's how well the anti-marketing campaign has done. It's even gotten into people's heads who don't want it in their heads. You feel like you've done something wrong. It's stunning.
And Christmas carols, I'm seriously, I really forget all of the faith and important stuff for a second. Here's a admittedly much less important thing than the faith aspect of it, but something that also makes me feel a little bit bad. I learned all of those Christmas carols. I didn't even learn those at church.
Where'd you learn them?
I learned them in school. We sang those when I remember learning all of those. It's coming down to Christmas, and our music teacher, choir teacher, that's where I learned almost all of those. Now, they were reinforced at home and stuff like that, and some in church, but I remember specifically learning all of those for a Christmas pageant, you know, what do you call this? Christmas shows that you put on?
Christmas play.
Christmas play or whatever, in schools.
Excuse me, the winter
Now
play.
it's the winter. I learned all of those, and those songs are wonderful. I mean, most of those I know the lyrics, or most of the lyrics to, because I learned them when I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Choir. And isn't there something lost on that in the kids?
Choir.
So now they're going to learn, baby, it's cold outside, not the other aspect of it. It just makes me feel bad for them.
They're going to learn, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, by the way, Maple Syrup and Blueberry Jam did bring up, when's PETA going to protest radio stations playing that one?
Probably.
Because you can't encourage, you see, people owning an endangered species at their home and giving it as a gift for Christmas.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Who sang the original from the 1970s cartoon?
Oh,
who's the guy who sang it?
The guy with the deep voice. It was...
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Same guy that did Tony the Tiger.
Yes, he was the voice of Nicely Done. I had to explain that to Chef Patrick yesterday. He was asking about it.
Great.
Hey, guy behind... What's his...
Ron. Where's your flashcard?
Oh, wait a minute. Matlock put it down. Who's
Ron?
You knew the guy who did Mean One, Mr. Grinch, did the voice of Tony the Tiger?
I did not know that. I was just now, when you said that, I'm like trying to piece it together in my mind.
Anybody?
Well,
one of the best.
That must have been tough for you.
Best names ever. Thurl Ravenscroft.
Thurl. You've said his name before.
I think it's
that was his name.
Look it up. Thurl. I think it's Thurl Ravenscroft. Which wouldn't, with a guy with a voice like that, doesn't that name fit him?
Oh, yeah.
You go,
what's that website to go find out how many Thurls there are?
Howmanyofme.com.
One.
If you're like, if I announce, okay, the doctor will see next, it's Mr. Thurl Ravenscroft. You don't expect a guy to stand up and go, okay. You expect the guy to go,
hello.
Hello. Yes, I'm Thurl Ravenscroft, and you're great.
I feel great. You know what else he did? Haunted Mansion. Disneyland, Disney World.
I don't know what that is. The movie?
What? You don't know what the Haunted Mansion is?
No, I think we went through that thing, and it's just some projected things.
What? You've never been on the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland?
No, we did, and I didn't get it. I remember just whatever. It was pointless. Things dancing. It was just like projected stuff. I didn't understand.
Suddenly,
I could see the people behind the curtain. It wasn't that impressive.
Suddenly, radio.
Granted, this was like 3 years ago.
Wow. No, amazing.
There was an announcer in there?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Don't forget to. Oh, yeah.
I wonder if I pointed that out to my wife. If I heard the voice, I'm sure I did. So.
Oh, it's his voice is unmistakable, but with a name like Thurl, it has to be
Thurl Ravenscroft.
Thurl. Why does anybody give their kid that name?
Because he had a voice like that. What do you mean?
You know, our child is going to grow up to have such a deep and resonant voice. Let's name him.
Well, you name him that just in case they do, Brad. That's what it's about.
What a beautiful baby. Let's name him Thurl.
It's much popular. It was a different time, okay? Let's just move on and tell you about charitymagnets.com. Not charitymagnets.us or
I have
charitymagnets.com.
There is the official word for somebody who collects magnets is, do you know what they're called?
Magnet collector?
How'd you know?
Just took a stab at it.
It's memomagnetist.
That sounds made up.
Memomagnetist. It was a term coined by an enthusiast from Russia who liked to collect magnets.
Okay, so it's made up.
No, well, every word is made up when you come down to it.
So why you challenge me on it? Was I accurate in my statement?
Well, it's a made up word. But
first of all, does it sound made up?
It sounds like a combination of words.
So it sounds made up.
But
and then number two, it is in fact made up.
But if in fact you are a memomagnetist,
so it both sounds it and it is in fact made
up. Are you
up.
calling the people who like to collect magnets
invalid? You deserve this
invalid?
crap for trashing my Chevy Chase shirt. I'm just saying.
I merely pointed out your Chevy Chase shirt.
Okay.
The rest of the audience trashed it for you. So if you're a memomagnetist or no one, and you want to feed their habit, charitymagnets.com.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like magnet crack. Huh? Magnet crack.
Okay.
Yeah, right. See? So you can get magnet, but not everything that they have is a magnet. Some things actually hold your keys. Some things go around your pet's neck. If you like to hang things around your pet's neck, you need to go to charitymagnets.com. And I would never suggest that possibly be using one of the badge emblems that says you support your local police on your license plate as possibly a deterrent to getting a ticket. I would never suggest that you do that. But if you were so inclined to do that, they have those as well at charitymagnets.com. And here's the thing. When you go to charitymagnets.com and you make a purchase for yourself or for someone else this Christmas, and I do believe you still have some time to get it delivered by Christmas. When is Christmas? A week from tomorrow, right?
It's the 25th.
It wasn't last year, was it?
Yeah, every year.
Is that does it fall on 25th every year? Huh. So if let's see, today's the 19th. Yeah, you still have some time to get your shipment shipped to you. If you go to charitymagnets.com, you'll also find that by buying one of these items, you're also benefiting a great cause, and that is Cops for Kids with Cancer. So you're not only doing good for something, doing something good for yourself or the person you're buying for, but you're also contributing to a great charity. Charitymagnets.com. If you're a Mimo magnetist or know somebody, that is magnet.
Did you say Christmas was a week from tomorrow?
Is it?
It's a week from yesterday.
Boxing Day is a week from today.
What is today?
The 19th.
The 19th.
It's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn it!
My golly,
I have. You know
it
what?
gets harder and harder in here. Every day too.
I have got to stop drinking so much.
He can't count, and he doesn't know when
in
Christmas.
The morning.
I mean, I had to move on to. Wow. Okay, we did the obligatory War on Christmas stories this year. Now it's time for the latest obligatory coverage of boycotts.
Yes.
Boy, oh, boycotts.
Who are we boycotting this year?
I'm not boycotting anybody, but you've got all kinds of people boycotting Tucker Carlson and Fox News.
What did he say?
And now you've got all kinds of people boycotting the boycotters and the business who boycotted Tucker Carlson and Fox News. It's the boycott met with other boycotts. And here's how this will play out. People will be all pissed off. Some businesses will be hurt. And some names dragged through the mud. And when it's all said and done, we will just move on to the next boycott and the boycott of the boycotters. And nothing will be accomplished except a greater divide and people will be hurt. You are on the left so outrageously obtuse, stupid, creating a monster that is going to crush you down the road and you don't even realize it. They continue to create these monsters that are going to kill them. Sean Penn, over the years, would go down to Cuba and Venezuela and hang out with the Castros and hang out with that other guy in Venezuela who's dead now and just roll. And they'd take him on tours and they'd whatever. And see, this is what our country needs to be, not realizing. If he actually lived there, he would not have the freedom to travel, nor would he be rich.
Nope.
And his little artistic freedom to create movies and whatnot would be limited to him creating propaganda films that he may or may not agree with or get shot in the head. And they don't even realize if he got what he wanted, his life would be hell, and that's what they're doing here. You create these boycott monsters, this court of public opinion, which is going to beat the crap out of you down the road. You morons. Do you want to live in a world where everything is a bear trap? That there is no coming back from simple mistakes? Where you can have no dissenting opinion? Leftists out there, you love the idea of there being no dissenting opinion against your propaganda that is your progressive propaganda, this progressive utopia you think you're creating. You love the idea of there not being any dissenting opinion while saying it's about freedom of speech, ironically, right? But you say freedom of speech so there could be no dissenting opinion away from our progressive ideas. That's fine as long as the people in power agree with you. Are you prepared to create a structure where whoever's in power gets to call the shots, or whoever screams the loudest or creates the greatest straw man about something you may or may not have said and attacks your advertisers when they disagree with you and it is used to kill you? This is the reason I have supported some of these celebrities, actors and actresses, commentators, saying outrageous things that I disagree with. And I tell people on the right, stop boycotting them.
Right.
Just don't use the difference between a boycott and just saying, I don't agree with them, so I won't, is you let the free market decide. The boycott is not about the free market. It's about making people afraid to speak maybe their mind or support what they want to for fear of the attacks coming on them. See, free market is this. Do you agree with Tucker Carlson or Fox News? And I'll tell you what he said in a second, but do you agree with them? Okay. Whichever way you answer, then support them or not. And they would have you believe that, well, what we're doing is putting it out there so people know so they don't support it. No. Because if something is deemed inappropriate by the masses, because people will think bad of you if you agree with them, people are not free to speak their mind when they agree because they will be targeted next. It's not actually free market, and it's not free speech. Tucker Carlson, while speaking about illegals recently, said, our leaders accept immigrants even if it makes our own country poorer and dirtier and more divided. He said, thanks to illegal immigration, huge swaths of the region are covered with garbage and waste that degrade the soil and kill wildlife.
Say that second part again?
Huge swaths of the region are covered with garbage and waste that degrade the soil and kill wildlife.
Of what region? Where
he must have been talking about the desert or where they're coming across the border, because he's talking about illegals. So
they left trash.
Right.
All right. So what? I'm not sure exactly what he said that was so controversial.
It makes our country poorer and dirtier. Illegals are poor and dirty.
Well, if I don't know about their cleanliness, but if
I've seen a lot of pictures, they don't look as clean and rich as other people.
Oh, I was going to say, if they're rich, why are they walking all the way to America from Guatemala?
So the poor part's not a problem. Isn't that the whole point? They say these people are poor and want a better way of life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it must be about the dirty part. So you mean to tell me, while marching for 2 months through the hot, sticky summer weather desert,
right, without showers,
and changes of clothes, look at these people, they're suffering without changing, that they're clean?
Wow.
You know, they're forced to poop outside and bathe in the water of the rivers so that's clean?
See, I don't even know what to say.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump signaling that he might be open to a deal that would avoid a partial government shutdown. This as the White House and Congress search for a border funding agreement before a midnight Friday shutdown deadline.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the White House doesn't want a shutdown, but it's also waiting for the Senate to make the first move.
We've laid out clearly what our parameters are with members of Congress. We want to know what they can pass.
The president has pushed for $5 billion in wall funding, which has been rejected by Democrats. And Sanders backed off from the president's threat, saying he would consider other options and that the administration was looking at ways to find the funding elsewhere. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Financial markets will be watching closely today as Federal Reserve policymakers meet. They may or may not raise short-term interest rates again. President Trump is urging the Fed to hold the line on interest rates. A comprehensive criminal justice reform bill has sailed through the Senate. Big win for the White House.
Voting 87-12, the Senate approving a bill that, as Illinois' Dick Durbin notes, had nearly unprecedented bipartisan support.
Left and right, liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, it's all there.
The measure proposing a series of criminal justice reforms, including changes to the mandatory minimum sentencing guidelines and an early release program for nonviolent criminals. It now goes back to the House, where Speaker Paul Ryan has promised to act on it before week's end.
Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. Outgoing House Speaker Paul Ryan bemoaning what he calls America's broken politics. The Wisconsin Republican using a farewell address to also say that Washington's failure to overhaul costly federal benefits programs is our greatest unfinished business. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures up 188 points, S&P futures 20 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. Over recent years, elections and politics in general have become increasingly partisan. One party is pitted against the other as each advances its own stereotypes. President George Washington believed this was detrimental to the nation. He declared, "Let me warn you in the most solemn manner against the baneful effects of the spirit of party. Its common and continual mischiefs are sufficient to make it the interest and duty of a wise people to discourage and restrain it. It agitates the community with ill-founded jealousies and false alarms. It kindles the animosity of one part against another. In governments purely elective, the spirit of party is a spirit not to be encouraged. Therefore, in this year's elections, do not allow a political party to be a deciding factor. Vote for each candidate according to the principles and policies that he individually represents."
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact Wall Builders at 1-800-8-REBUILD.
I have so much more to say about this boycott and Tucker Carlson. Well, there's one of the main clients that they're boycotting is IHOP, not IBOB, right. IHOP. That's done.
Not IHOB.
Not IHOP. IHOP, the International House of Burgers. I'm sure they love them some Tucker Carlson. So much more to say. So what I'm going to do is after... let's see. We got headlines and that to do. Maybe top of the next hour. Because I've been wanting to take more phone calls, especially in the third hour anyway. So maybe open up the phone lines for people's comments the top of next hour. So an hour from right now. That number, Brad Staggs, is?
It is 202-866-7466.
That number again?
Is 202. That's a Washington, D.C. area code, by the way. Okay. So when you're trying to remember the phone number, just think of D.C. 202-866-7466, which, of course, spells Harmonize.
And we'll do that at the top of the next hour and talk a little bit about those boycotts. We'll open up phone lines, get your comments, whatever. But I have a lot more to say because there's a bunch of other moving parts to it, including a client that is boycotting Tucker Carlson that got caught up in a boycott themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, this story... The irony here is rich. Yes. Dripping with irony. And they're too stupid to realize it. By the way, I may call for a boycott of them now. I don't support boycotts at all, but I may support a boycott of them. Also, a celebrity who is now boycotting several social media platforms.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
A progressive celebrity.
Well, I'll cross that one off the list here.
A progressive. Keep yours, though, because you got one yourself.
Well, no, I think it's probably the same male
person. Or female?
Female.
Yeah. Boycotting social media platforms because they may have colluded with Russia and Trump or helped Trump get elected.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not boycotting all of them because she really likes one of them. But the others she's boycotting.
Well, at least she's consistent.
Right. All of that coming up as soon as we get beyond today's headline.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
So scoured can mean like looked through.
Yes.
But it can also mean scrubbed?
Yes. Yes, you can scour. You can scour books. You can scour records. You can also scour a pan. But don't scour a Teflon pan because you could end up scratching the Teflon.
Although you could scour a book and you could scour a book.
That's true.
You could scrub a book.
You could scrub a book or scour it looking for information. Either way. That's why this damn language is so difficult
I
to
never really
master.
thought of scour being used both ways.
See?
Now, which way did you look for the headlines? Did you scour them or scour them?
I scrubbed them in a scouring sort of sense,
Okay,
but I
good.
didn't use soap.
Okay, good.
Much like the illegals. These headlines are brought to you by the Right On Game. It's rightongame.com because mocking the left feels so right. And starting off with a story straight out of Porky's. A man got a lung infection after sniffing his own socks. Doesn't every man do that, by the way?
Wait a minute, no euphemism there,
Nope.
first of all.
He got a lung infection after smelling his own socks. This man was in China.
Okay.
Still is
Because I
in
was saying,
China.
is this Michael Moore?
No.
Is this a homeless dude?
Nope. This is a guy, he would take a whiff every day at the end of work. He was changing into more comfortable clothing. He would take off his smelly socks and inhale the odor. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, clothes in general, if you smell if it's clean or not.
Women don't do that, you see.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They
Of
say
course.
they don't do that.
Bull crap.
They say they don't do it.
Ladies, stop. Just admit it.
No.
Let me ask you something. This is a little personal.
Yeah.
When you use the facility, do you, after using a piece of toilet tissue, do you look?
No.
How do you know if you're clean? Do you use left hand or right hand?
Which day is it?
I use toilet tissue. I use neither. Do you smell your socks?
Must be your feet.
And let me just say, by the way, I know some people do, and it's not a gender thing. It must be. Do your feet smell? No. It's an old joke. We can't tell that one.
Boy, we'll never be able to tell that.
Try to figure it out in the MeWe chat room. I do not smell my socks. Some people do. It's not a gender thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't smell my socks.
Oh, I do.
Other people's socks.
I was going to smell other people's underwear, but my own socks, I'll take a whiff of those.
No, that's fine. All right, so he got an infection. That seems pretty...
It's a fungus, apparently, that he had developed in his footwear from his sweaty feet.
Okay, I'm calling BS on this. I'm sorry.
It spread to his lungs when he breathed in the spores.
No.
Wait a minute.
No.
I've seen that episode of Star Trek where the spores get into their lungs.
I'm calling foul on this, and here's why.
Okay.
They make it out like he was just an average dude.
Yeah.
Took off his socks and went, they are pretty stinky. I can't wear those again. Boom, and throw them away. Or throw them in the, right?
Yeah, I think
or in the laundry.
I think he just, threw them in the laundry.
No, one of two things. Either this guy had epic level foot funk. Not the average person. Like he worked in weird and didn't wear shoes, doing something weird there. Or the other end, he didn't just go, he went, like this was his thing for hours on end.
The Cattrall and Porky's thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
So
that's possible. It's possible that is. Some people are into that sort of thing. Maybe it just finally caught up with him. By the way, he's being treated for that lung infection. He should be okie dokie. Of course, he'll be back because you can't just quit smelling socks cold turkey. Meanwhile, in Colorado Springs, a woman has been accused of sitting on school property with samurai swords and knives.
Is that a problem?
I was going to say, is that I didn't realize that was illegal. But
and where was this? Do we know?
It was in Colorado Springs.
That's the problem. If it was in Japan, you'd be fine. Samurai swords in Japan, you'd be good.
What if she was an Asian woman? Nope.
Cultural
Jillian
appropriation.
Hadden.
That's the problem with it, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't the knives, because you can have knives. They're not dangerous.
It's the samurai swords.
Or swords. No, it's not a gun. See what I'm saying? So it must be cultural appropriation. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, according to the Colorado Springs Police Department, Jillian Hadden, she was arrested in connection to the incident on the Vanguard school campus late last week. There were no specific threats. Police said the school administrators, they just reported a woman lying along an exterior wall on school property Which, that may have been the problem. So she was laying down there along the wall with 2 samurai swords and knives on and near her. She didn't have any legitimate business, they say, on the campus.
Mm-hmm.
So let that be a lesson to you. If you decide to go and lay down on school grounds, don't bring your samurai swords and your knives with you. Moving along to
Hold on. Rod, get the door. I think he's getting the door. But in case you're not, get the door.
There's somebody at the door?
No.
Oh. Straight people do not exist. It's according to a study done that shows human sexuality is fluid. That's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
And women are hornier than you think.
All right, I was going to call BS on this story.
Mm-hmm.
And so... Hey, give me this again.
It was studied in the
give me the way you say it again. Hang on a second.
A study shows that human sexuality is fluid and women
bogus. I don't lie. I don't believe it. Not everyone's straight. There's no straight people, you said, right?
No, straight people don't
exist.
exist.
That's bogus. That's BS. But go ahead.
A study shows that human sexuality is fluid and women are hornier than you think.
Well, that's BS, too.
That does not say married women.
Oh, there's
okay, women.
Got it.
Yeah, the study was published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. It undermines long-held beliefs about heteronormative sexual orientation. Have you ever tried that position, the heteronormative? Wow, is that tough?
No.
It's tough to get your right ankle behind your left ear.
What page is that in the Kama Sutra?
It's that one is 13. No, that's 14, 15.
That's the one that spills over onto.
Yeah, it's like 16, 17, and part of 18.
It's the fold out of 18, though, right? That's the whole.
And it is difficult. It is really difficult. The study looks at gender expression in women and measures their physiological responses after viewing pornographic material.
No. Get to how this benefits us.
They like to watch lesbian porn.
So if I do that, then I have a shot. Is that what you're going? We just boil this down for the dudes. We're just trying to figure this out.
So basically, yes, women are more responsive to actually both hetero and homosexual porn. Meanwhile, a woman's sexuality is complex and not within the bounds.
You're hurting it again, dude.
I know.
No, because
this is
the
a
thing.
woman. There's no other way to describe a woman.
Saying show them pornography. They're not going to sit down and knowingly, okay, great. You got to slicker them just so they secretly want to see it?
Oh, yeah. See?
Okay, you got to help me with the lie. Like, how do I get them there?
You have to find a way just to slip it in.
All right, this again,
so just without them really knowing.
Well, this is a unicorn. That's what you're doing here. You're pushing the idea of a leprechaun riding a unicorn.
No, unicorns exist. Unicorns exist. Right. There's one in Colorado I'm aware of. Just one.
Okay.
Just saying. Moving along, the AP has named the best shows of 2018.
Are we there? Is it us?
Mm-hmm. No, we are not in the top 10. The top 10?
11?
Nope. Not even 12.
Are we talking TV shows?
TV. TV, which crosses over into cable and everything else. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was in number 10.
It's number 10?
Mm-hmm.
And what is Best Buy? You mean just what they like? Like an editorial or by ratings?
No, this is just this is their it was a poll.
Okay, number 10, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Grownish was number 9.
I don't know what that is. Go ahead.
The Clinton Affair was number 8.
Was that a one-off?
It was a...
It's not a series,
I see what you did there. No, it was on A&E, and it was a documentary on the Lewinsky thing.
Wow, they really blew that because, see, here's the thing. That should be a series.
Yeah, there's enough material there. It's all blue. Escape at Dannemora was on Showtime. That's number 7. I've never seen that.
I missed a lot of these great shows.
You was on Lifetime.
I don't know what that is.
I'm glad I missed that one. Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan on Amazon.
That is fantastic.
That is a great show.
Holy crud, is that good?
It's only, 8-10 episodes?
That John Krasinski from that show that used to be on?
Office.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
On the show, he was known as, that's him.
Yeah.
Right.
Him.
Not that guy, the other guy.
Right.
This is amazing. They did such a good job with that. What is it, an 8-part series? 9?
8 or 10. 8 or 10 parts.
Holy moly.
Really, I mean, those series on Amazon and Netflix.
Most of them are done well.
They're like an 8-hour movie.
Right, that's all they've done. They've padded it up there and made it good. If you like the Tom Clancy series, that type of stuff, if you've not seen it on Netflix,
he does
hunker down and watch it. This is a good binge watch all day set. Shut up, I'm watching a show. Like that. Send the kids away, get a beer, order some pizza.
Just lock the kids out of the house.
Put the strippers on pause till later and go. It's good. Solid stuff.
I think
what else you got?
You can watch the strippers at the same time. Succession on HBO is number 4. Killing Eve at number 3 on BBC America.
Nope.
This Is Us.
Oh, no.
Did you ever watch this?
That sounds familiar. I don't know what it is.
I know people who watch this. You know who else watched? Pat Gray loved it.
Really? I didn't know that one.
I've just to me it looks like, remember 30-something?
Yep.
Which I think I watched half an episode and wanted to vomit.
I was in my 20s, so I couldn't watch it.
Yeah. And the number one, the most popular show, at least they say, according to the AP, you probably haven't seen this one either. It's on Amazon Prime. The Marvelous.
Oh, Mrs. Mueller or something?
Very close.
Mrs. Mahooch, Molly, Dolly.
Very, very close.
Starts with an M.
Yes.
I don't know.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
What is she, like a comedian in the 50s who's
She's
trying
a
to make it?
comedian in the 50s.
Okay, there's a movie out now of it, I think, right? Or is that the series they've been advertising?
No, it's a series. That's a series. The second season is now out.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Have you seen?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's a very good one.
Okay.
By the way, a quick fact here. They've created more than 2 billion red hotels since the game Monopoly was created. Did you know that?
I did not.
And since the Right On game was created, more than 27 million lefties have been mocked.
Wow.
I know.
And counting.
We're working on 28.
Right On Game is available for you right now at rightongame.com. It's a fantastic game. It's not so much about the winning or losing. We all win when we play the game.
It's about how you play the
game. And by that, we all win when you mock people on the left. It's a fun time.
Although we found that you can mock each other in the game.
I was cracking up yesterday during Matlock's show when he goes, although we didn't play it right the other way, and Brad Staggs busted in and went, how did we play it wrong? And he went, well, we just played it wrong.
How did we play it wrong? He couldn't explain it.
Give me specifics. He goes, look, we just played it. Look, listen, we played it. He didn't know. He still doesn't know how to play it. Did we have fun?
Yes. Did we play a game? Yes.
Done.
We played the Right On game.
Did we mock the left?
Yes.
Done.
We mocked each other.
Yeah, that's true. A lot more mocking.
It was really easy to mock Tom and Patrick.
They're very mockable. It's almost like we should. It's charity. We can do better.
It's like low-hanging fruit.
Right. You got to go for the non-charitable ones. You just it's work for you. Anyway, rightongame.com, because mocking the left feels so right. If you use the promo code MoJo50, they're going to give you 10% off. It usually is around $25 or so. But
it's usually $400, but right now you can get it for just $25.
Wow, that sounds like a great deal.
That's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, I would pick up a couple today for the holiday season. You could probably still get them for time for Christmas if you hurry. It's rightongame.com.
When is Christmas? Is it next week?
It's a week from yesterday.
Wow, that's sneaking up on us awfully quickly. Federal court in New York has lifted a ban on nunchucks, saying that it was unconstitutional.
Well, I have to ask a couple of questions. We need some more information before I can rule on this.
All right.
What is the magazine capacity of the nunchucks?
Actually, it's unlimited. There's
the problem. I'm gonna have to go against this. This should absolutely not be included in
Yeah, in 1974, a New York State ban on nunchucks that was put into place over fears that the youth at that time would be inspired. This is the truth. They would be inspired by martial arts movies and would create widespread mayhem if they were allowed to have nunchucks.
Guys, seriously, when you really think about what a silly weapon that is by comparison.
They'll beat the crap out of you, though. You ever been hit with a set of nunchucks?
You ever been hit with a baseball bat?
Does that cost extra?
Seriously, what are you going to do with nunchucks that you're not doing with the baseball bat?
Yeah, that's true. But
okay, done. It's these hyped up fears because of movies and stuff like that. I mean, I was more worried about, the Jets and the Sharks.
The Jets and the Sharks.
You're either a Jet or a Shark. Come on, man. What were you?
A Jet or a Shark? A Jet?
Seriously?
A Jet or a Shark? Where? What?
It's
like you're trying to communicate. I could feel it.
It was a West Side Story reference. Just move on.
Oh, them. Oh, really? I didn't.
The gangs are the Jets and the Sharks.
Wait a second. Are you admitting to liking Broadway musicals?
No, I'm admitting knowing about a Broadway musical.
So your sexual preferences have become clear.
I admit knowing about them because I'm an educated man.
Wow, he's walking around singing Barbra Streisand tunes all the time.
No, I'm not a West Side Story fan.
Wow.
Grease I like, though.
Who doesn't like Grease?
Let's go on.
Yeah. Speaking of teaching girls about orgasms in school, we'll break down the cultural imbalance of power between men and women.
Teaching them about that?
Yes, teaching them about orgasms in school.
I got to say, a lot of these leftist ideas seem like a fail, but this might be something I could get behind.
Yes, indeed. Jess Phillips represents the Birmingham.
All the boys in school going, Yes, you're right. Gender equality. Let's find out about such things.
And today we're going to discuss why it takes females so long to have an orgasm.
How long does it take?
Who cares? Philip says it was to discuss discuss female pleasure rather in order to break down the culture of power imbalance between men and women. We should be.
Wait a minute. That's what's been keeping women down.
Yes.
The women who control all of that.
Yes. Yes. Now you're getting the rich iron.
They control all of that.
Yes.
They got half the money and 100% of the hoo-ha, but
yes,
they've been kept down because of that.
Yes. Yes, in fact, they have.
Ladies, if you have not realized the power that you have, that's on you. I'm serious. If you haven't figured this out by the age of, 6, 8, 10, when you look at your mom and your sisters and stuff, and you're like,
yeah, that is so true.
When I'm kind to them, they bring me things, shiny rocks and food, and take care of us and protect us from.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you have it. All we have to do is teach them. I was going to say, build it and they will come. Moving along. For Americans, is it 2-to-1, 5-to-1, or 9-to-1, the ratio of sending texts to making phone calls?
9-to-1.
You sure?
That seems
That's your final answer?
No, it actually seems like 100-to-1, but since you didn't give me that option, I'll go 9-to-1.
Americans send about 5 times as many texts as the number of calls they make, and they spend about 5 times as many minutes per day texting as calling.
No, that's not. They're wrong. I'm calling bogus on that. How many calls did you make yesterday?
I don't think I made any.
How many texts did you send yesterday? You sent me at least 5.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. The ratio of text.
That was just me. You didn't send anybody else?
But you're missing the ratio here.
What?
Sending texts to making phone calls. It's 5-to-1. 5-to-1.
No, but I'm saying you sent more than 5 texts yesterday.
Yeah.
And you made no phone calls.
The average person.
Me, the same thing. I talked to 2 people yesterday on the phone. Okay, and I sent a hell of a lot more than 10 text messages.
Now, my point being, wouldn't this be a fabulous way to be advancing causes on the right as opposed to on the left? See, I slid that in there. You didn't even know I slid it in.
Actually, I'm wrong. Darn it.
What?
I actually talked to 4 people yesterday. Darn it. Yesterday was really thrown off.
And when you did that, were you advancing left or right-leaning causes?
I talked to my wife. I'll let you figure it out. I talked to our buddy Adam. I talked to you briefly. And I talked to, darn it, I made 5.
See?
Because I talked to at Stunt Brain
briefly.
Go. And I talked to my buddy Dan Bongino.
Well, there you have it.
I actually talked to him twice.
So, more in a Patriot Mobile sort of...
I talked to my friend Dan Bongino yesterday.
That must have been an interesting conversation.
You know Dan Bongino?
Oh, yeah.
Does a great job.
Yes, he does.
By the way, real quick, he gave, honest to God, a shout out to all of our listeners here. Because when we were going down the list of different media personalities, I said, I don't know that one. That one's a good guy.
Right.
Whatever. And I said, honestly, Dan Bongino is one of the best talents out there and truly is the guy. You always say this. You wonder, is that guy? Dan is 100% legit. Dan has helped me, gotten my back, conservative values.
Man, like when you're in the shower, you scrub your back?
Like helped me out, defended me when people were talking smack about me that was not accurate. Dan is that guy, and he goes, I didn't even realize you had said something about me. He goes, when you did, all of the people that tweeted about me, commented me, he goes, it was incredible. Your listeners are locked and loaded. I said, so they are, man.
Except
seriously.
For that one.
That one, he's such an ass.
That one, he really
Anyway,
is.
so it was like, those people yesterday.
Yeah. So the point is, go to patriotmobile.com/doc, where you can actually, while you're paying your cell phone bill every month, be advancing some conservative causes as opposed to those nasty, left-wing, liberal, scummy, dirty, poor causes that some of those big cell phone companies help advance.
PatriotMobile.com/doc. I can't remember what what we talked about.
Sex.
But it was really important.
Sex.
And I can't remember.
Sex.
Wow, what did he...
It's the first step to being old.
Oh, yes. By the way, he goes, do you guys hear, Mike? What was the comment he made yesterday about the on his little 2-minute warning.
Oh, when he called the guy, wake up, you.
Ah!
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was? Guy behind the glass?
It's Ron.
What?
Ron.
Yesterday's 2-minute warning with Opelka.
Yeah.
What did he call him? Anyways, he's like,
wake up, you idiot.
Oh, no, yeah, dumbass.
Oh,
he called him
I can't remember the exact word, but he goes, "Do you hear that?" And I was like,
Nostra dumbass.
That's what it was. I go, "Do you hear?" He goes, "Do you hear that?" I go, "Yeah, I texted you yesterday because you asked me." I go, "We all laughed." He goes, "It's pretty good, right?" And I was like, it was hilarious. Everybody, the guy behind the glass laughed. You laughed. We all laughed. And he was like, "Yeah, I thought that was pretty good." I call him Nostra dumbass. I was like, "Yeah, Mike, I got it there, buddy."
He just wanted to be
stuff.
stroked a little bit. That's all.
That's all he is. It's fine. I get it. You know,
We all want to be stroked every now and then.
Right. You know, Palk's a good guy.
Yeah.
He did tell me that his little 2-minute warning, which we've been trying to help him out, that he's trying to syndicate it on other platforms as well.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
So, there you go. So, by the way, if you want to sponsor any of those, they are available here.
That's patriotmobile.com/Doc.
That number again.
Patriotmobile.com/Doc.
And the website is
patriotmobile.com/Doc.
You're supposed to go 800-A-PATRIOT at that point to kind of get it backwards.
What's the number again?
I don't know.
It is December 19th. There are 6 days until Christmas. 13.
Nope.
Yes. 6 days until Christmas. There are 13 days until the year 2019. And it's National Oatmeal Muffin Day.
Ooh.
You had a good muffin lately?
Nope.
Oh, man. You should, especially if it's oatmeal. December 19th every year. In 1998, they impeached him. Oh, you'll never get this one.
I don't know. Can you give me a multiple choice? Was it Bill Clinton?
It was Bill Clinton.
It was either him or Andrew Jackson.
Right. In
Johnson.
1984, they agreed to return it to China.
Taiwan.
Very close.
I'm sorry. No. Hong Kong.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jake Gyllenhaal is 37. Chris Angel's 50 today. And the love of your life is 45. Alyssa Milano Cookies is 45 years old today.
She looks pretty good.
As a matter of fact, she's scheduled to appear on the program here. Oh, I'm sorry. We're out of time. Well,
it's a shame because she actually, for 45, she looks damn good. Good for her.
Tell Alyssa Milano to call back again tomorrow.
I mean, she's annoying as all get out, but she looks good.
Those are your headlines.
Do congressional Democrats typically come up with plans to use against Republicans, while Republicans seldom have a plan to fight back? Should the GOP change this strategy? I believe the answer is yes, and here's why. In January, the Democratic-run House is set to take over. Already, Democrats are indicating that they intend to investigate President Donald Trump practically as far back as the day he was born, if need be, to eventually find something to use to impeach him. Trump and the GOP, on the other hand, are rightfully focused on such issues as securing the southern border, encouraging businesses to continue operating within the United States, and keeping unemployment low. While arguably this is where the president and both houses of Congress should be focused, it's truly often a one-sided effort that works to the detriment of Republicans. The GOP must begin to focus not only on what's best for the American people, but it must also direct its attention to how to beat Democrats at their own game. A liberal talk show host recently shared 3 agendas she believes Democrats must avoid in order to win back control. She said impeachment must be taken off the table, Ivanka Trump's email issues should not be pursued, and Democrats should stop talking about abolishing ICE. Not surprisingly, none of the things she mentioned are aimed at helping anyone but Democrats. Do Republicans have strategies in place to make Trump a 2-term president and to keep the Senate and win back the House? We know that Democrats are going to bombard Republicans with one assault after another with the hopes of seeing a white flag coming from the GOP. Republicans have a very short time in which to roll up their sleeves and face the challenges ahead, or the Republic may be lost for good. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Hey, it's Brad Staggs with big news. MoJo 50 is coming to you and to your town. It's all part of our way of helping the veterans in this country. The MoJo 50/50 tour is 50 states in 50 days. And we're traveling across the country in a bus. I don't know what could go wrong. If you go to MoJo5050tour.com, you can find all the details, including to tentative stops and how you can be a sponsor. MoJo 50/50 tour, MoJo5050tour.com.
I got to give it to him. It's genius. It's wonderful. It's fun. It's playful. While people are boycotting Fox News and others, there are companies out there that kind of get it. Popeye's Chicken apparently gets it.
What they do?
They have launched an emotional support chicken carrier. It's at Philadelphia Airport. Look at this.
That's brilliant.
It's a box of chicken, but the box is shaped like a chicken.
That's
And it
nice.
says emotional support chicken.
And that bad boy is TSA approved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep.
So you can take it right through.
See, Brad, all these years I've thought these people taking these animals, those are the live animals. And I see
Right.
emotional support. But I ask you now, emotional support cow in tenderloin or ribeye form?
Emotional support chicken nuggets.
Right?
I'm there. Totally
Genius.
behind it. Yes.
Good for you for mocking these people. Yeah, Popeye's jumping on the bandwagon for a limited time. The fried chicken chain is offering at Philadelphia International Airport an emotional support chicken carrier when you purchase a 3-piece chicken tender combo meal. This is really kind of like the Right On game.
You. By the way, I was going to say that will last. When did they come out with this?
Just the last few days, I think.
All right, that's going to last maybe 2 weeks before they start getting all sorts
actually
of
launched
complaints.
yesterday.
Then I give it to the end of this week.
Well, here's what's going on. It's like the Right On game. You will randomly have somebody triggered.
Yeah.
Most people won't understand it, won't get it. Some that do will go, huh. Some that'll be mildly offended. But there is going to be a person that travels through that gets pissed.
Yes.
And challenge, how dare you? That's sensitive and go off. And then maybe a PETA person because you're mocking them. And there'll be a brouhaha. And all the while, Popeyes will sit back and reap all of the benefits. Mwahaha.
This almost makes me want to go have Popeye's chicken, except the last time I did, I had to take a mortgage out. That ain't cheap stuff.
No, chicken.
Popeyes ain't cheap.
I covered this on my little Spoonie show, I think on Monday. I do an hour long on our food platform every afternoon. It's 2 to 3 Eastern time. 2 to 3 Eastern time. It's Doc's House of Flapjacks.
And a hell of a house of flapjacks it is.
We feature topical, interesting, food-related news items and also the list.
The list.
I have a daily list or two of things going on that are food-related. But I mentioned this.
I listen every day. Are you not explaining?
Listen.
What are you explaining it to me
I keep
for?
telling you to, and you don't.
I know
I've
exactly
invited
what
you
you're
on,
telling.
and you've ignored me. But over the weekend, I went to Burger King.
I like Burger King.
I have not been to Burger King in a long time.
They're good.
Yeah, back in the day, they were always a little second or third down the list behind Wendy's and McDonald's. Now McDonald's is just falling off the end of the world.
Yeah.
Wendy's is tremendous, and then Jack in the Box and others are much better. But went to Burger King, didn't have a coupon, which Burger King has a tons of coupons out there, so that was a fail on my part. But the wife and I were in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and we were at a like a Christmas parade. The kids were watching, getting ready to leave time. She said, "Let's get something to eat." It's around 5, 6 o'clock. Let's go through Burger King. They have the little jungle gym in there, and the kids can just go nuts. And I was like, fine. Go in there. There's 4 of us. The youngest is not eating because we starve him.
As you should. I don't think they
And by
should
that,
be
I
fed
mean
before
he doesn't eat
4 or 5
real
years
food.
old,
He eats
right.
baby food. That's not real food.
Right.
So it's just me, the wife, and a 4-year-old. And the bill was $23.
Oof. Where's this? This is Burger King?
Yes.
$23? That sounds like an Arby's total.
Yes. And so here's what I get. The wife got a little chicken salad. I got granted, this wasn't a more expensive item. I got the meal, and it was the sourdough double-deck bacon thing that they have.
You got the double deck. That's it.
Okay. That whole thing was $10 with the meal, the better part of $10.
Right.
And the son got a Happy Meal thing type, whatever they call theirs. And I'm thinking, how is it $23? That's like a sit-down meal.
Yeah.
No, sit-down meal would have been $45. In my mind, and I know this is an old thing, I think I had to be able to go out to a sit-down lunch with you at like an Applebee's or something like that, and it'll be like $5.50.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I just got a sandwich.
Not anywhere close.
Because that was like 30 years ago, right?
Yes.
You go out to lunch. It's yours is $5.95. Guy behind the glass was $6.10. No. It's $12.
That doesn't exist.
$14.
It's at least 20. Now two people could eat it like an Applebee's, something like that for $20.
Right.
But not. That's insane. $23.
And it was
at Burger
23 and change. Yeah.
See, they sneak it in on you on the meals.
They do.
And did you eat all your fries?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Why?
I was going to say because you could forego the fries and you'd save some money.
Yeah, I used to.
You're
do
only
that, but
supposed
not
to
anymore.
eat 6 fries.
So back to this thing, the emotional support chicken, genius. You're right, pretty expensive to eat out in general, though, and
it'll last a week before they.
One of the other things with the eating out and the more automation, I just reported yesterday on the little Spoonie.com show that Walmart's headquarters in Bentonville, where I live,
right,
is testing Flippy.
What's Flippy?
Flippy the robot.
Oh, the hamburger patty flipping robot.
Yes, exactly. Flippy, it's a robot developed by Miso Robotics that flips burgers. Now, here's the best part of the story. So they're testing it there, and they want to deploy it at a bunch of their like delis and stuff. But the Miso Robotics CEO said Flippy is not supposed to replace workers.
Oh, of course not.
No, that's not their intention.
No.
Their intention is that it would act as an extra set of hands for the workers to make their life a little easier and better.
Which, by the way, will become a challenge and will end up being in some selfie online.
Okay, he said, what we want to do is assist the hardworking line cooks and chefs in America.
Of course.
With tools to give them the ability to faithfully reproduce while taking the burden off of some of the more repetitive and mundane tasks. Right. This is really what they're about, Brad.
That we're paying $15 an hour for now.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So you're paying $15 an hour, but you're going to buy a robot to assist them whose price tag is between $60,000 and $100,000.
Yeah, I'm thinking that some of these people may be wanting to look for maybe work at McDonald's.
Well, here's the thing about McDonald's. Flippy's going to replace those people there.
Yeah.
And there's now an automation system at the front. Have you been at the McDonald's or Burger King's where what used to be like a little mini city of people behind the counter working, you know, like 10, 15, not even the back, just up front, back and forth, filling the shakes and the drinks and fryer. And now it's 1.5 people. I say half because one guy's like,
drooling in the fries.
I said orange drink. So, yeah, and the counters now where there's one register in the same size McDonald's.
Yeah. This is the result of $15 an hour minimum wage at fast food restaurants.
You fought for 15, and by that, I mean you fought to put yourself out of a job. Congratulations, way to go. Flippy is, whether they say it or not, a direct reaction to that, and even if that was not the company's intention, this is how it will be used. It will absolutely replace these people, as it should, because why would we ever accept products and services and businesses that we don't use?
Right.
You know, otherwise, like, sorry, guys, we just have to keep this wagon wheel business open.
And again,
sorry,
it's the government steps in, and every time it's proven every time they screw it up.
Here at Saloon Doors Are Us, we're looking for another government grant. Products sales have fallen off just a bit, what with the last 200 years, and but we think it's important to keep those jobs.
Well, and by the way, our subsidiary, the horse tie-up post out front.
Yeah, they've been falling on some hard times, but
we're still moving some of those units, though. We've got
a few of them.
We got them in front of several gas stations.
Will be good.
Yeah.
The sarsaparilla dealer. He's kind of thrown in with us. We're looking for like kind of a block grant for all of us on the block.
Yeah.
To do something like that. We think that'd help out quite a bit. Miss Kitty's still doing great, though.
Looks fabulous for her age, too, I must admit.
She's got a new batch of girls in there, and I'll tell you what, business is booming. I'll tell you.
A new batch of
Apparently,
girls.
this internet just found new ways to connect with them, and they're still looking for a grant and will likely get one, but they don't need it.
Wow.
And by grant, we mean
Bob Grant.
A guy named Grant.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant.
Yes, he'll be in there.
Good for you, Popeye's restaurant. Good for you.
That's what Karen over on Facebook just said. Loving Popeyes right now.
Yeah.
If you can afford them.
all the chicken places, that was my point. They're all expensive. I mean, listen, Chick-fil-A's not cheap. Chick-fil-A is pretty pricey, but Chick-fil-A's
it's not as expensive as Popeyes.
Probably not. Well, you're not getting the same amount of chicken. I mean, Popeyes, you're going whole chicken breasts and whatever, whereas Chick-fil-A in that you're getting
I think
other things.
Chick-fil-A is better than Popeyes, and
I would say the chicken is, of course.
Yeah.
Anyone who tells you different is a stinking liar.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're just talking chicken to chicken.
Probably communist, too.
There it is. You're comparing, I was going to say apples and oranges, but it's more like apples and other types of apples. Like green apples and Macintosh or something.
Granny Smith
and Macintosh or something like that. Slightly different, but Chick-fil-A is awesome.
But still apples.
You know what else is awesome is MoJoWildRice.com.
It is fabulous.
In fact, I was talking to Cousin John, who was in town yesterday, and we were talking about wild rice because Cousin John's from them parts up in Minna-type soda. And that's where Mojo Wild Rice, the great folks at Minnestalgia, is from, because the Minna in Minnestalgia is Minnesota.
What?
Yeah, that's how it works. And the nostalgia is that it's nostalgia because they've been around about 30 years.
Now you tell me.
This is it's not even long grain wild rice. Not that you know of. This is something completely different. It's the only true native grain in North America, and it's more of a seed. Now, what that means when you hear stuff, well, seeded or sprouted seeds, different part of the plant, which means it's actually healthier. Traditional rice is almost all starch.
Right. It doesn't. When you put this in your mouth, you don't go, "Well, that's rice." It does not. That was my first reaction to it.
To the taste, you're talking, because the flavor is a little off. Right.
The texture and the taste. It's not. It is rice, but it's not rice like you're used to having rice.
The nice thing is, and we were discussing with Patrick, Chef Patrick, it's different textures depending on how long you want to cook it. In fact, John was asking, he said, so, how do I make it, a little more like this? And Chef Patrick said, you add some more water and you cook it longer. If you're cooking the rice, you can drain off the water. You don't have to keep, there's still a little water left. Right. We got to keep cooking it. Is the texture good? I mean, you don't even have to boil it. If you just like eating handfuls of it, it's cool, great, dried rice.
There's
excellent.
No law against it.
Right. But you can keep cooking it, adding water. But one of the secrets is if you cook it with a stock as opposed to a water, you're flavoring, you're infusing, the moisture into it that is also automatically seasoned.
What if you cooked it with a bond instead of a stock?
I'm sorry?
A bond. Stocks and bonds.
I mean, you could, I guess.
See?
If it tastes good, why not try it at that point?
Whatever it takes.
Have you ever had like chicken and rice casserole that you bake with like a can of soup in it?
Does it have like with green beans in it?
No, that's green bean casserole. It's along the same line. So what you do is I would cook this rice a little bit first, just because I like this rice really soft. I like it tender, but you don't have to. You'll have to figure out the proportions, but basically once you got the rice, you put it in a baking dish and you mix in a can of soup. You can do cream of chicken, cream of mushroom works really good, something like that. And season it up. Extra salt, pepper, garlic, and pieces of chicken in it. You can use like full chicken breast, bone in, full breast, whatever you want, or just, pieces
I'll take the full breast.
I like it cut up a little bit, cooks a little faster, and then it's already proportioned. Put that in there. And then when the rice comes out, it's kind of caked with that flavor, that kind of mushy from the soup.
Let me close my eyes for a second.
And then the chicken, it's all flavored. It's great. Yeah. Make sure to season it up. I think you want to cover it a while cooking in the baking dish, but
cover the breast up or cover the rice up?
You want to uncover the breast, but cover the rice and everything.
Okay. All right.
Always uncover the breast first.
Exactly.
But when you want to make enough for leftover, because cold later on that night, right? For those people, I mean, if you're one of those people who are up in the middle of the night crying, sobbing to yourself on the edge of the bed, like some guy I know and another guy that works with him, you head out to the kitchen and you don't even heat it up, just cold right out. You don't even shut the refrigerator door.
No.
And you eat it right out of the pan because who the hell's is up?
Right.
No one's up.
Well, and you need a little light to see what you're eating because it's a little disconcerting eating anything in the dark.
The little hum of the clock or the fluorescent light.
Yeah. And you just stand there and you eat. And
just that little bit of goodness in your otherwise dark and dim, pointless life.
While you're pondering all of your life's choices, you can be.
It's nice because you're on the edge of the bed, just. My teeth are so sore from gnashing them all night in the stress. I should just kill myself.
But
wait a minute.
This is so good, though.
There's rice in the refrigerator.
It gives you a reason to live, to get up.
It's that good.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Boy, that was really a hard sell on that commercial.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
MoJoWildRice.com. It's fantastic. Look what I have. Ready?
What? Oh, you've got some of the raspberry pepper jam.
Oh, yeah. I actually like the The hot pepper, it's not the habanero, it's the ghost pepper.
You ever gotten naked and just smeared it all over your body?
I have, and it is fantastic.
It is really good.
Try all of the great products, the edible memories from the Northwoods of Minnesota, and I realized how inappropriate that was. The edible memories from the Northwoods of Minnesota after Brad said that. But still try them anyways at MoJoWildRice.com. It's MoJoWildRice.com. You want to get that stuff in, still time for the holidays. And as we get to the first of the year and you're trying to live healthier and eat healthier and be healthier and lose weight and get in shape and all of those things, MoJo Wild Rice can help you do it. You make up a bunch of that wild rice ahead of time. You come home, it's a life hack. It's easy to make dinner, and you know you're getting something that's almost a complete protein by itself in the rice. It's gluten-free and cholesterol-free with trace minerals and vitamins, and all of their products taste great. Make it a cornerstone of changing your lifestyle in the new year. It's MoJoWildRice.com.
John put it well. He says, I'd rather cook it with a Bond girl than with stock. Just saying. And the Saddle Tramp is, look. Brad claims no hitching post at gas stations as he sits in Fort Worth, Texas. I can confirm many places on Texas. He's
not saying there's none.
No, I'm not
He's
at all.
saying that they've fallen off a bit. There's not as many as there were.
They've come into hard times, and they just need a little help. They're too big to fail, quite frankly.
They are.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm not making any other judgment call other than that. Just a dude. Surely there is a career path from flipping burgers to advanced robotic technician.
Maybe.
I would think so.
Maybe. Could be. Well, and that's the thing. It's very easy to get sucked into this fear of, with the changing economy and all of these low-end jobs going away, that there's going to be nobody to do these other jobs, and we're going to need a mincome and stuff. I mean, I've heard the arguments, and I'm telling you, even though somebody that understands this more than most and passionately supportive and gets the free market, I too have been sucked into this. Oh my gosh, what about if it changes that much? Folks, the jobs will be there in one way or another. There may be adjustments that have to be made. Like, you have two jobs, you have to have a little business yourself, something on the side, any of those things.
Yes.
True.
Whatever it takes.
Somebody's going to have to fix those robots, right?
Yes, some technician will have to come in and fix
I don't know if you know this or not, but constantly new businesses, services, and products are invented.
Is that a fact or is that just rumor?
I haven't looked it up on Snopes yet. But
you're saying that things are changing all the time?
Right. So, yes, guess what? Some of those jobs, in fact, those jobs are going away at McDonald's and Burger King. Most of those are going away. But it's not just hey, somebody's going to have to fix the robots that replace them.
Right.
It's also, tomorrow's going to come up, somebody is going to launch the website, and you're going to want to, oh my gosh, how did I get along without the in my life? I need 4 of them a week.
See?
And
marketing.
That's it.
That's all it is.
So then someone's going to have to produce those or offer that service.
And Al Spock, he just called me a carpetbagger. This mofo living in Texas just called it a horse tie-up post. What the hell do you call it?
A hitchin' post.
No, that's a bar. There's a bar down the street called the hitchin' post.
But the hitchin', the thing you're talking about, is also called a hitchin'.
What do you do? Okay, when you pull up to the post.
Okay, got you. Lay it out and ask me.
You pull up, you put the horse in park.
Right.
You open the horse door, climb out of the
Get
horse.
out of the house.
Take the reins.
Right.
Those are the stringy things tied to their face.
Right. And what do I do with it?
And
I hitch it.
Yeah, you tie them up.
I hitch it.
You tie them to the horse tie-up post.
I hitch it to the hitching post.
No, you tie them up to the horse tie-up post.
You tie them to that if you were born in California and then lived all over, carpetbagger. But those of us from Texas know.
When was the last time you got on a horse?
Let's just move on. Why the long face?
I've been on several horses, and I know which way is forward.
Sorry, my friend, those records are sealed. My wife may be listening.
That's absolutely true. Baby, it's stupid outside. Think of how much more expensive it would be if you had to tip.
Tip what?
I'm not sure what that's referring to, but just think. I mean, any situation, how much more expensive it would be if you had to tip.
I feel like we missed a good joke.
Oh, no. Burger King, if you had to tip.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And that would be true. Another 20%. So that'd be another $5.
And that's one of okay, you're right. It'd be cheaper there and to get takeout now, right? Because then you don't feel the obligation to tip.
Right.
I still hate the places you go into and you go up to the counter and you sign and they still have the line item for a tip.
Yes. Or the tip jar.
It's the tip jar I'm a little better with because I can act like I didn't see it. But
you have to put the line through it. Yes. On the receipt.
So like what I do is I keep it's like looking at breast but not looking at breast. You know, you keep your chin up and you look out of your peripheral while staring in a different direction.
Yeah.
Right? And ladies know you're doing that. Same thing with the tip jar, right? I just angle my body and I go, thank you. Thank you. And I don't look down at it. Clearly, I would have given you a tip had I seen the tip jar.
Oh, there was a tip jar?
Oh, I wish someone had told me such a thing, you know?
Doggone it. I miss that every time.
Right.
My bad.
And I go through it every time I see that on there, right? You go up to the counter at pick a place that you're just ordering and you sit down. I mean, it's sometimes you're buying like a donut or something and they give you a little tip. It's a donut. I'm going.
And I did all the work.
This donut will be, I walked up to the counter. I ordered the donut.
Yes.
You handed it to me, and it'll be gone by the time I square my shoulders in the opposite direction.
Right.
Gone.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you a tip on this?
No.
But I still go through the whole thing. I go, tip. Should I give a tip? Oh, my gosh, they're there. And they expect it. Look at it. They're watching me. Oh, my gosh. No. I walked up to the counter. This is not a tipping situation, Doc. Move on. I go through it every time.
Do you, when you drive through, let's say some drive-through that has a tip jar out there, do you make sure because I will do this on occasion, put $1 in it, but I make sure they're watching.
That's the Costanza.
You have to wait until they've turned around.
Yeah.
But I understand why you do that because you throw the $1 in there when they're not looking. You don't get credit
for it,
no,
right? Yeah,
you don't.
You're not a big fan of the anonymous.
No, if I'm putting $1 in the tip jar, I want you to know it. That way, next time I come through, you might be a little nicer to me.
Well, now I'm a big fan of doing things anonymously, helping people out. But that's a different scenario because that's not charity.
No,
I mean, charity. Do. No, it's really
technically it's not.
I mean, if I'm putting it in the Ronald McDonald House thing. That's great. But listen, the worker bee's not going, thank you for donating to Ronald McDonald House or whatever the little thing at the cash register is that's for charity.
Yes.
They don't care about that. They're not going, next time that guy comes in who comes in every morning and gets a Muddy Buddy from me, I'm going to go ahead and give him some extra service because he always donates. They're not saying that.
No,
you put in the tip jar.
Yes.
They're your guy, right?
Yes.
They're going to make sure you move to the front of the line and stuff. So that's not charity. Absolutely, you want them to know that. You go to let's say you're going to be out all night at a bar.
That sounds exhausting.
Or at like a wedding where it's a ton of people.
Right.
And maybe it's even an open bar, right? And can I get a drink over here, right? You go big with the tip up front. You just, boom, $5, $10 tip right off, right?
Yes.
You do. Here you go, Steve. Thanks for working it. They see you in the crowd later on. Excuse me, folks. All of you people that have been waiting, it's a possibility that guy who's had one sip out of his drink may need a, sir, come up here.
Yep.
Oh, it's great. It's the best.
They'll even give you a foot rub on that one.
Done.
That's
not charity, Brad. So what you have to do if you're going to donate a little tip there, right, when there, is you go, all right, there you go, Steve. Great job. You call him by name and you go, good for you. Or
you have to make some. You make some connection.
You go over the top
so they notice you.
Yep.
And that's it. You're set for the rest of the night.
I told you the Carlos thing when I was at the Starbucks.
Carlos Danger?
No, I used to work around the corner from the old place at the Starbucks there.
Yep.
Because I was just trying to get the hell out of the building and work away from where it's quieter. Anyway, so I'm down there at the old Starbucks, and I always use fake names. Everyone does, right? So I used Carlos one day. Well, normally, I mean, I don't hang at most places, you know what I mean? I don't go there enough that they know me. Well, this one, for weeks and months on end, I was going pretty regular. So I go in there, and the girl goes, like, the second day, she's like, Carlos. And I was like, oh, crap.
They got
Yeah,
that's me.
Carlos. After about 3 or 4 days, it was like George on Cheers. Carlos! And I'm like, hey, tall, pasty white guy named Carlos coming in. Getting a double frappa, mocha, something white people drink. Yay, that's me.
You got suckered into your own ruse.
I did.
You were a victim of your own gag.
Okay.
I hate it when that happens. This is, by the way, Lisa Smith, why the hate? After explaining what a hitching post is, Brad Stack still doesn't understand what a hitching post. A hitching post is where you get married. That's the technical definition of a hitching post.
I think you're wrong.
No, it's not. You tie up your horse at a horse tie-up post.
By the way, I forgot to mention this. Hashtag new IHOP slogan. Hashtag new IHOP slogan. We launched it yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. Think about it. Just hold on. Then we'll get to them in a minute. Get them into us, though. Hashtag new IHOP slogan. We'll get to a bunch of these coming up in a couple minutes because we're going to open up the phone lines because IHOP is one of the companies that is boycotting Tucker Carlson and Fox News now, which is their right to not advertise. But when they start pulling their ads and boycotts and how dare you be offended at this, I'm not having any more of that stuff. I'm calling all of these people out constantly. I'm going to kick your ass on this, left and right. Knock this stuff off. You're ruining the world, even for yourself. You're crushing all of us. Do you not, people on the right, are you pissed off about this today? Are you pissed off about all these companies pulling from Tucker Carlson over something so stupid? Great. Remember that crap when you pull it next time because Chelsea Handler's, does she have a show still?
Yeah.
Let's use a different example. When Jimmy Kimmel, he installs a show, right?
He does, yes.
When Jimmy Kimmel said something and now you're demanding that McDonald's pull off of his show, stop it. Now, I know you believe you're fighting fire with fire. And I get turnabout's fair play. I get all that. That's not the way forward. All that does is then gin them up next time, and it gets worse and worse. What you do is take the high road, explain how you're not boycotting, and mock the crap out of them when they boycott. Yes, vote with your dollars. Do not launch the boycotts, though. That's different. Anyways, in the meantime, hashtag new IHOP slogan. Because we could go ahead and mock them.
Yes, we could. Let's see if anybody's got any yet. Not yet.
Larky Farkin says the Walmart of restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
New Walmart slogan.
Yep, there's a good one.
James Albert, pancakes? We don't need no stinking pancakes. He didn't mention the accent, but I felt it.
I like that one, though.
Hashtag new IHOP slogan from Josh Marr. IHOB, part 2.
How about cleaner and richer than immigrants?
Well, along those lines,
come to IHOP.
Stolen sandwich. At least we ain't Denny's.
There's nothing wrong with Denny's.
The moon's over my hammy. Classic.
There's nothing wrong with Denny's.
No. What do you got? Stock in the company? You really taking this personal?
Just for a second there, I thought somebody was dissing Denny's, and there's no dissing Denny's.
It was fun.
No.
Yep.
You don't diss in Denny's. Even in
Aubrey, I heart only progressives. And I think somebody else had one that was the, Intolerant House of Progressivism. That was from Febraquarius.
Bob blah blah.
Love the Bob blah blah.
We sell nothing burgers, too.
So anyways, new IHOP slogan. We have a chance that this could go pretty viral because the people that are trashing Tucker Carlson this morning.
Yes.
And thank you, IHOP. They'll try to defend them if this is done right. Get a couple of them involved. No, the IHOP stands for the International Wonderful People who I know that doesn't fit, but they're wonderful.
They're so great. Yeah, I think that'll be the way it works.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thompson. Facing a midnight Friday deadline, the White House and Congress trying to come up with a border funding agreement that would avert a partial government shutdown. President Trump is signaling that he might be open to a deal. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the White House is waiting on lawmakers while at the same time making contingency plans.
We want to know what they think they can actually get done. We've laid out what we'd like to see. In the meantime, we're looking at other areas where we can draw money from to make sure that the president can actually protect our border and protect American citizens.
Sanders says Mr. Trump is asking cabinet secretaries to see what funding they can contribute to construction of a border wall. The Senate, in a bipartisan fashion, overwhelmingly passes a criminal justice reform bill.
On this vote, The yeas are 87. The nays are 12.
A sweeping criminal justice bill backed by President Donald Trump breezed through the U.S. Senate Tuesday night. The bill, designed to address the imprisonment of too many offenders for nonviolent crimes, was years in the making, and it has the backing of both conservative and liberal advocacy groups. Senator Ted Cruz calls it
a major bill that moves in the direction of justice.
The House is expected to pass the bill this week, sending it to President Trump for his signature. Mike Gracia, Washington.
After raising short-term interest rates several times this year, the Federal Reserve may be about to do it again. Fed policymakers meet later today to consider another rate hike, which would be aimed at keeping the economy from overheating. Citing internal Facebook documents it says it obtained, the New York Times reports the social media giant shared user data with more than 150 companies. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing to a higher open. Dow futures up about 182 points. S&P futures 19 points higher. More on these stories.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is. WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place: WeThePeople.dating.
You cannot retreat to your safe spaces. There are no therapy poodles allowed when facing the truth, and that's just how we like it. Straight, hard-hitting, conservatarian truth on the rocks. No chaser, no marches, no protest. Only small, limited government, constitutional conversations, exclusively on MoJo 50. We get into foreign policy. We get into national politics. We get into constitutional, libertarian, conservative ideology. We put the brakes on the media spin by destroying the lies, dismantling the narratives, and bringing you the stone-cold hard truth. Every weekend on MoJo 50. Join me, Adrian Slade, for a raging hour-long discussion, deconstructing the headlines and delivering you the entire full story. Only on MoJo 50. Live free.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with WeThePeople.dating. That's WeThePeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
All right, that Matlock just busted in here. Giddy like a schoolgirl.
He does get very excited.
He was very excitable, and he was excited because, I can't believe I'm going to say this, he agrees with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Whoa.
He finally agrees with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Not a joke.
Did she say something about making sandwiches?
No.
Oh.
I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but it's not a joke. There is something he absolutely, and once he said it, I was like, I got to hear more details, but let me listen to your broadcast. He'll be on a little over an hour from right now. It's Matlock. You remembered him from the 80s detective, lawyer type show with the powder blue suits, and now he's come to MoJo 50. He heads up the conservative cartel. Who knew that all those years he was so conservative?
Right.
He'll be on just over an hour from right now. MoJo50.com. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines at number 202-866-7466 at great risk to this broadcast.
Especially after yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to open it up and get some calls because I want to get your take on this boycotting thing. I've bitched about the boycotts forever. Am I wrong about the boycotts? You're like, no, Doc, we got a boycott. Tell me. Let me know. 202-866-7466.
Well, remember, 202 is a Washington, D.C. prefix, so that's how you can remember it. And then just remember the rest of the phone number as spelling Harnab.
I mean,
so just remember Washington, D.C., Harnab, and call us.
I don't know why we didn't get like 800-MoJo-50.
That's stupid.
5050.
What do you think? People are so stupid they need to spell it out for them like that?
I do. I absolutely
For crying
do.
out loud, if they can't remember DC and who knows what.
202-866-7466. We'll open up the phone lines and get your calls in just a couple of minutes. But let me update you on the story here and tell you what's going on. So Tucker Carlson has been in some hot water anyways recently. They've been targeting, and I think it's one of those systematic takedowns. Because what he said, although triggering to the left, isn't really all that bad by comparison to some things.
Right.
It did hit smack dab on the bullseye of something that they're very sensitive about, and that's the illegals. And he used a emotionally triggering term when he called them dirty.
No, he didn't technically call them dirty.
That's true. Let me give you the quote here. He said, "Our leaders accept immigrants, even if it makes our own country poorer and dirtier and more divided." He added that thanks to illegal immigration, huge swaths of the region, meaning down along the border and whatnot, are covered with garbage and waste that degrade the soil and kill wildlife. Do you disagree with anything he said? Granted, that's taken out of context. We didn't hear the full setting. Number two, I will say, although accurate, it is absent some other details.
Well, and you could make an argument for it either way, is the point. The problem is you take it as a soundbite and it sounds very inflammatory.
Right, but I mean, okay, please, stop with the moralizing if you're on the left. Stop it.
Right.
Your whole point of saying they belong here is because they're poor. Come to America, it's better, and you're suffering.
Yeah.
Got it. And you're the one who told us how the hardships all the hardships they faced when they've been in the caravan.
Right.
One of those hardships is can't be showering regular.
Right.
Okay. That means you're poor and dirtier.
Yes.
They took it as triggering, like you're looking down your nose saying they're scummy, less than human. It's not what he said. So what he said is at least partially accurate. By the way, if you've seen in the desert, do you disagree that they're leaving stuff behind, diapers and all kinds of stuff and garbage?
I've seen several news stories where they go through and it's all over the place.
Now, don't even listen. Tucker Carlson isn't all boo-hoo-hooing about the soil and killing wildlife. No. But I think that was to push the buttons of the left and say, you're the ones who are so concerned about these things. Why aren't you concerned about the desert and whatever?
Right.
Got it. So what he said is at least partially accurate. Now, people on the left, let me say, I understand some of your concern. If you're only hearing the part that calls them or seemingly calls them dirty, and you're saying, hey, these are human beings, it's coming across the right way or the wrong way, you're right. But Tucker Carlson wasn't challenged to talk about the benefits of illegal immigration. He was talking in opposition to you wanting all of those illegals to be made legal. And the constant drum banging that we mentioned yesterday of these poor people down on the border that Donald Trump himself targeted with tear gas.
He lit them on fire. No, wait, that was Janet Reno.
Yeah, right. So that's the story. What are your thoughts? 202-866-7466.
Washington, D.C. and Washington.
202-866-7466. We'll get to your calls in just a second. The rest of the story is, after he said that, then the left starts attacking. It's not like these companies went, hello, everybody else in the company, emergency meeting of the board. Everybody quickly come together. Board meeting, calling, link up satellites. If you're not in the city, let's go ahead and use that Skype and get people on. You're not going to believe what I heard. Apparently, we're advertising on this Tucker Carlson show, and he said something about dirty and poor immigrants. It's immediately, we must pull our ad. They didn't say this.
No.
They don't even care. They're not even buying their commercials. They go through ad agencies.
Yeah.
Who's saying, you want good ratings? Here you go, buy this place. Done, right? So what happened? People on the left, how dare you say such a thing? And they start their campaigns on social media, calling out IHOP and others. Hey, you're supporting that Tucker Carlson. Did you hear what he had to say? And there's one motivation only for it, to get them to pull the ads So Fox News will suffer and or Tucker Carlson will suffer, so they will go away. It is advertising sponsored, supported. Right. That's how they make their money. So if you get the advertisers to go away, then they go away, or you force them to control their content, to limit their content and what you find acceptable, leftists, by saying we're going to target your advertisers.
Why don't they just go watch MSNBC?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's that. Because
they are trying to silence people. I'm not trying to silence you when I say, Brad's House of Hair.
What's that supposed to mean?
The Wig Emporium. Brad's House of Hair. I don't like what you say and do and believe in, so I'm not going to support your business. I don't care if you're in business or go out of business. I'm just not going to support you myself. I'm not, when I say vote with your dollars, I'm not saying do it so you will purposely hurt people. Listen, you want to hurt a company, hurt AT&T. They suck. I don't know what their viewpoints are. I know they support liberal and progressive causes, but they have horrible customer service.
Yes.
And they still owe me $150 minimum. I'm not trying to put them out of the business. I don't care. I'm saying I vote with my dollars to support companies that I support.
Right.
I'm not trying to silence anybody. I'm just trying for things to be transparent. Boycotts are trying to silence people via the boycott. And then the right responds by boycotting. So IHOP, they pulled Nerd Wallet.
Not Nerd Wallet.
Yeah. It's a personal finance website.
Never heard of it.
Okay, that's the most publicity they've gotten ever then.
Okay.
Pacific Life Insurance, all pulled. Nerdwater, apparently is a content partner of the Associated Press. Smile Direct Club said it's going to stop running ads during any political opinion shows. But it's funny. You only started now. You don't remember all the political backlash in the past. Any of those. Now's the one when people start targeting you. Shut up. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't do on political. No one thought of that. If they didn't think about it, if your PR and marketing person didn't think about it during the last backlashes when you decided to advertise and tell the place, the company that purchases your ads, hey, don't buy political places, then they should be fired.
Yeah, yes, because they're idiots.
Pacific Life said, as a company, we strongly disagree with Mr. Carlson's statements. Our customer base and our workforce reflect the diversity of our great nation, something we take great pride in. Shut up. Who in their right mind, I guess that's the key, progressives, who in their right mind is saying, well, Pacific Life must not support diversity and love and hope because Tucker, they're just trying to get people to pay attention to them. Tucker Carlson and Fox has a big audience. That's all it is. They're trying to get exposure for their business. Stop it.
You know what shocks me about this whole thing? That Tucker Carlson has become the marquee name at Fox News.
How about that? I mean, he does a nice job for the most part. I don't disagree with
I don't
agree with everything.
I just never thought Tucker Carlson would be the...
Well, when we mentioned demographic shifts recently, Tucker Carlson's much younger. When we started this fight with progressivism under George W. Bush, that was 10, 12 years ago.
Damn. Time flies.
A massive, remember, millennials, and Tucker is younger. I don't think he might be Gen X, but anyway, younger than past hosts that were baby boomers. They're targeting, obviously, the largest voting bloc in America, which is millennials.
Well, but you have to give them credit for being fair because at least when Mika, what's-her-face, came out and talked about butt boys, at least they boycotted and they pulled advertising from her show as well. So
yeah, exactly, I guess.
At least they did that.
All right, get the calls in, 202-866-7466, TC. 202-866-7466. We have a couple of calls coming in.
We've got one right here, and I worry about this one, but I'm going to put him through the same number from yesterday.
No, put it. Come on. This will be fun.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Hello, Chicago.
I got to tell you, and I want to paint a picture for you, okay? And stay with me for a second. Picture The Walking Dead with these zombies laying all over and just these lifeless bodies that have just had all the essence and pure joy sucked out of them. That is going to be the equivalent of this caravan of diapers and empty bottles and food containers all over. This is your listener base. This is your listener base of those who have had the life sucked out of them from listening to this show. This is Dominic Izzo. This is Dominic Izzo from Chicago, and I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell you, I'm coming to save you. I'm coming to save you. It's. Did you get my memo yet? Did you get my email?
I got nothing.
The things I'm going to need.
I got nothing.
What do you mean? What? You know what? This is why your show fails. Because your people are unprofessional.
I don't
These
have
people in the background that I've been talking to, I don't know what to tell you, Doc.
Right.
But
I'm a little concerned by this save us thing. I don't know what that means.
It's Joe Pesci.
Yeah, of course you don't know what it means. If you know what it meant, there wouldn't be lifeless, joyless, sapped out of the reality of life people laying in the streets after hitting the morning MoJo button and going, dear God, I feel faint.
At least
and dying in the street.
At least we're transparent. We don't hide the people that criticize us. Right now,
it's impossible to hide all those people.
Snurfling Duck on Twitter's going, yes, finally, someone who's telling the truth.
See, that's it. We're coming to save your show.
Is this Brian Sack? Is this Brian Sack?
No, this is Dominic Izzo from Chicago. I tell you, I sent you an email. You were supposed to get it.
I haven't answered. I'll look through my emails. I don't know why, but okay.
Doc,
yeah.
Doc, along with the copy of the opening of the Hippocratic Oath, which means you should do no harm, and apparently you're harming everyone who listens to this show. So, unless you have a profound problem with me coming into saving, I'm just doing it.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean save. What do you mean save?
Of course you don't. I'm taking Christmas off, and after January, I'm coming in. I'm going to do a show on this platform, and we're going to wind up revitalize. You know what it's going to be like? It's going to be like pouring in 5 monsters and a 5-hour energy down the throat of your listeners, so they can actually tolerate. They can actually tolerate your show because the commercials are the most valuable thing they listen to. That's it. I'm coming after January.
Okay. Is he gone?
Yeah, he hung up.
Stunt Brown.
I don't.
Everyone thinks it's
that's not Mike. I asked him if Brian Sack says he's being punked on this. He's a Dominic
here with
Izzo. Look that up.
With my finger on the button over here, hoping that
yeah. I don't know if is he crazy? Because I don't know if he really. It doesn't work. Like I don't get to go to Goldman Sachs. Listen, I'm going to be your new CEO. Don't worry.
I don't know if Goldman Sachs is not doing well. You might want to do
I may have a shot at this thing. Call Trump and tell him that Zinke's out. No, I'll do you a favor. I'll do you a little favor and clean up that Department of the Interior for you. I'm going to take Christmas off. I'll be there first of the year. I don't know what that means.
There's a Dominic Izzo online.
He sounds like a punk.
Oh, he's certainly interesting. He's got some videos up here, and
is that his website? Roll down, scroll down.
What's the website, Doc?
What is it?
Izzo 2018. Izzo for sheriff. I don't know. It's time to end the corruption, lies, failure, leadership. That's Cook County.
Wait a minute.
Dominic Izzo. He sounded like Joe Pesci.
Hang on. Scroll down. Let me see the other. Ew. Mr. Izzo, I'm sorry for the punk comment. That was spoken purely out of malice.
What'd you say?
I mean you no harm going for the picture that looks like cable.
Oh, crap. Is this the guy? Did he?
On the off chance that it is you, Mr. Izzo, and I would just say anything that you may have taken as serious criticism of you or the Joe Pesci comment is obviously just a little radio stunt there, but and not something that we actually mean. Go ahead and tweet that out there. Let me.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out.
Guy behind the glass, look it up. You got to see
what's the website address?
Is it DominicIzzo.com?
Izzo2018.us.
What was the other one? You had up another one a minute ago.
Oh, that was
the cable picture.
That was it.
No, there was one with the cable picture a minute ago because that.
Where?
I don't know. Guy behind the glass. See if you
I've got it here. Izzo.us.
Izzo.izzo. Did you see the picture of cable?
That dude.
That's not him. That can't be.
That cannot be him. That dude. That dude
Everybody
would
thinks
thump somebody.
Everybody thinks we're punking them. Everybody on Twitter thinks we're...
Send out that
What
one
did he
right
say?
there.
He said he's taking Christmas off and then he's going to do a
I don't even know
show?
what that means. Off of what?
Send out that?
Yes, that's the one. Do the.
How can I get back to that?
Izzo.us.
Yeah, but that's
the one I'm looking at right now. This dude has got he's got a cigar in his hand. He looks like Cable. He does.
Let's
Doc.
see if I can save the image. Crap, she won't let me save the image.
Well, the point of this, he's running or ran for sheriff. Was that last election? So is that the Christmas off? He's not running for sheriff anymore?
Evidently, he's got
What's
some
it say
time
on
on his hands.
Well, that'd be the other website is the...
I don't even know if this is him.
He said, how many Dominic Izzos could there be?
I don't know. He could be punking us on that. It could be Brian Sack who found this guy. I don't know.
It sounded like Joe, and I could see it did sound a little like Stunt Brain, but it's not Stunt Brain.
What, I'm here, I'm like a comedian? I'm here to make you laugh as sheriff?
He said all the Walking Dead. He said they turn on the MoJo and then they all get a little faint.
Yeah. All right, this just gets crazier and crazier in here. Let's move on and get to EraCapitalManagement.com. Now, Brad, I want you to notice something here.
Yes.
We have some visual aids for Era Capital Management.
Yes, we do. And for those of you listening to the podcast...
Doesn't do you a lot of good.
It doesn't, but you can imagine the visual aids that we have.
And we do some live streaming in the studio there. You go to Facebook or the Twitter, and we got our YouTube channel where you can watch as well. So, like, when we talk about the Right On game...
Yes.
You got the Right On game.
The Right On game sitting
right
up there, yes.
Or you talk about Nostalgia. We put some of the...
Got the pepper jelly and put up there. Yep.
Well, the folks at Era Capital Management said, you know what? For the people that are watching, we feel like we need a visual aid. So they went ahead and sent us the and capital means...
Money.
So they went ahead and sent us a stack. I mean, this is just for the visual.
Pretty amazing, too.
A stack of cards that say Era Capital Management on them.
You see, they could have sent a stack of $100 bills.
They could have done that.
That would have been even better.
I'm just saying, listen, you're trying to sell investment services, right?
Yeah.
Your services.
Yeah.
What's going to sell?
We're not investing cereal. We're not investing leather. We're investing money.
Imagine the spectacle.
Yes.
When we talk about this, to go, look at this. This is $450,000 stacked up here.
Right.
You
that
put
would
that
be,
out. That's
that
impressive.
would be impressive.
You ever go to Binions Horseshoe back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
What was the draw at Binions?
The big case in the back of the casino with $1 million in it. And you could get your picture taken in front of $1 million.
Now, did anybody flock to their sign?
Not really.
No.
It's the $1 million that you get your picture taken in front of.
I'm just saying EraCapitalManagement.com. Just put up the $1 million on display here.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and send it to us.
Yep. And we'll
put it
happy.
right here.
Yeah,
and
we'll
you'll
make
be able
sure.
to see.
We'll make sure that it's well seen.
Here's one for you,
well,
too.
Thank you very much. I don't know what to say.
Hey, it's a nice logo.
It's a very nice logo. It's got the little arrow pointing up and everything, which is the way you want your money to go.
You don't want it down.
No, you do not want it down.
Yeah.
38% of Americans don't have don't actively save for retirement.
I know. It's actually pretty awful. I don't know if you know this or not, but to Brad's point, they have predicted the demise of Social Security over and over again, and it is supposed to run out. And they keep, when I say predicted over and over, they keep moving the time frame up.
Right.
It is supposed to run out in about 10
years ago.
No, about the time I retire, within a couple years of my retirement. Seriously.
Of course. That'll be the way it works.
By the way, was my original naked in a clock tower statement. That was the inception of me naked in a clock tower when I realized at some point I may end up naked in a clock tower.
That you'd be dependent on Social Security, it wouldn't be there.
If being forced to invest in this Ponzi scheme, forced by government to invest in this with no choice of how it's invested, spent, any of this stuff.
Right.
Forced. When I retire, if it's not there, I am getting my money one way or another.
It's not going to be.
I'm taking home the Liberty Bell. I'm taking home something.
It's cracked. You don't want it.
I don't want that then. I'm going to get the original. I'm going to do something at the National Archives.
Yep.
I'm getting the Resolute desk.
We could sell the Constitution. They're not using it.
Right. I'm getting something there. Or I'm naked in a clock tower. It's how it's going.
Somebody's going to pay one way or the other.
There is a good chance it's not going to be there for you. And if you're younger, start investing immediately. The the compounded interest, when you're saving and stuff, and the early investments over time, you simply cannot replace those years. So start investing early. It doesn't matter the amount. Just start. Call Era Capital Management, eracapitalmanagement.com. Call them today. Contact them today via the website and just ask. They know better than I on how you start. If you're a little further down the line, you better get yourself serious about this like now, right? I mean, it's not too late. There's still time. Would have been better. Best day to call Era Capital Management.
Would have been 20 years ago.
I don't know if they were around then,
in business then,
whatever.
But would have been yesterday.
You get the spirit of it. Now, the second best time.
Right now.
And
right now. And now. If you haven't called yet, we're just going to keep saying now.
EraCapitalManagement.com. Call them up, contact them. They'll tell you what they can do. If you already have some of an investment, hear what they can do to manage your money a little bit better. That's all you have to do. You got 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is. Doc, I don't have a whole lot of money. Contact them, EraCapitalManagement.com. If you have an old 401k, this is a great place to start. You have money out there that you're not putting to work for you. That lazy ass money.
Right.
Sleeping on the job.
Yep. You don't want your money sleeping on the job.
No. Era Capital Management. Era Capital Management, you do this so much better than me. Do that there.
I finally made it. Era Capital Management LLC is a registered investment advisor. Era Capital Management LLC provides fee-only portfolio management. The advisor may not transact business in states where it is not appropriately registered, excluded, or exempted from registration. Keep in mind that investing involves risk. The value of your investment will fluctuate over time, and you may gain or lose money. No strategy can assure success and is not guaranteed. Period.
I'm sorry, I missed the first part. Can you?
Oh, that was the best part, too. That was the part we had the puppies and the kittens in it.
EraCapitalManagement.com. These are good guys. Go ahead and contact them today.
They know money.
Era is ERA, by the way. EraCapitalManagement.com.
How else would you spell Era?
I don't know.
There's no other way to spell Era.
Maybe people misunderstood, though, or misheard.
Are you calling them stupid?
It could be like
now?
Error Capital Management.
No,
that's a bad
error.
name.
That'd be stupid.
Right, that's
era?
what I'm saying. There's not stupid. We got a guy from Chicago, supposedly, who maybe looks like Cable, maybe ran for, sheriff. Or it could be Brian Sack calling us, saying we're like walking zombies and he's going to take Christmas off. I don't know what any of that means.
And another text from Stunt Brain. It is not Stunt Brain. And Stunt Brain's apparently getting a little pissed off. He says, I'm not calling in.
Maybe he could call and we could hear the difference in the voices and compare it.
Thank you. That would be.
I just got an email from a Dominic Izzo, no kidding, and all it says is, deal with it, is.
I don't know what that means.
That's what it says, I swear. Izzo.us, so now we know.
Okay. You know what this is? This is somebody, it's maybe Sack, but it's not just about the call like they're faking this.
Right.
Somebody's screwing around here.
Remember the guys that you messed with, you guys that from Canada?
Is that who it is?
That could be the.
Oh, there's the punkers that people used to call.
That's okay. All right.
Maybe it's somebody we know. I'm trying to think if it's Jeffy or somebody.
Ooh.
Let me think about this.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
2019 brings us the 116th Congress. It also brings us today's number of 8, as in just 8% of the Republicans in the House are going to be women. The number of Republican women in the Senate, not much better at just 13%. In the latest election, just one of the 35 newly elected female House members was Republican Carol Miller of West Virginia. Over in the Senate, the news was a bit better, with 3 of 5 new female senators being Republican in Marsha Blackburn, Cindy Hyde-Smith, and Martha McSally. Thank you to John Kyle. The numbers suggest there's a great imbalance, but just how bad has it been historically? Of the women elected to the House since 1990, 73% are Democrats. The Senate, that number is 69% in favor of the Dems. But history overall suggests this imbalance wasn't always the case. Following the 19th Amendment's passage in the 1920s, the vast majority of newly elected women were Republican, and as time has gone on, the numbers of women from either party stayed pretty even. That changed in the 1970s with a new wave of postmodernism and identity politics working within the Democratic Party. Of course, just electing women simply because of their gender, not what I'm suggesting at all. The merits, that's what matters most. Speaking of which, there's plenty of room to question the conservative bona fides of the newly elected Republican women. After all, McSally and Hyde-Smith come in with grades of F from Conservative Review. Blackburn is the best of the bunch, and she's only got a grade of C. Will 2019 be about the Republican Party finding those female candidates that articulate a message of freedom and free markets? Imagine contrasting that message up against radical feminist candidates across the country. But when was the last time the GOP did the smart thing? This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins. You can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
All right, we got sidetracked with some of the other stuff and missed a couple of things, including more calls. 202-866-7466. Stuntbrain just again said it's not me.
Yeah.
What was the one you just shared?
Stinky just tweeted, "Psst, everybody who calls in from this day forward, call yourself Dominic."
Right, it's beginning to trigger me here.
I tweeted out a picture of this guy that we found at...
See, I think somebody found that. I think this is all... I think what happened was somebody found this picture, stumbled across it, or looked for somebody from Chicago after yesterday. Because I don't even know if that's the same guy.
Right. He just said that's who it was.
Because
he just used the name.
Right.
So. And
then said, okay, this is what it is. And I mean, you ran for sheriff, and now you're calling and pranking us? That seems odd to me, but okay. You know.
I can't read this one. But it's funny. Thank you.
Where was that located so people can go and look?
Season Greeting Duck. It's
all right.
We'll just leave it.
Well,
right
let's
there.
just do this that we forgot.
And now, the totally acceptable racist joke of the day.
What are the first three words of every white cookbook?
I don't know. What are the first three words of every white cookbook?
Steal a chicken.
This has been the totally acceptable racist joke of the day.
It's the instructions. The first thing you do.
Because you got to go steal a chicken. Uh-huh. I see what you did there. That's because white people.
They steal.
They do. They steal chickens,
too. They're thieves. You know how they are. You can't trust any of them.
Bad. It's awful. It's really just awful. And there you go, Pink Floyd. There's your acceptable racist joke of the day.
Yeah, that
Stop
was on
complaining.
me. No, and I'm glad they complained because that was on me. I got sidetracked with all this other nonsense.
Don't stick up for them.
All right, a little bit more on the boycotts because there's a really ironic bit here. One of the advertisers that pulled, now you've confirmed this, right?
Yes, I have.
One of the advertisers that pulled is an advertiser, a company by the name of Scotty Vest.
Yeah.
Scotty Vest. I love Scotty's vests.
Yeah.
Scotty Vest was an advertiser that Brad used to do commercials for.
Hey, the sad thing is they're great products.
It was a great product, right? And conservative, right? They targeted the Second Amendment people, and it's a jacket with all these pockets, all these hidden pockets.
Yep.
So you can put guns and ammo and all this other stuff. Conservatives, you know, and that's how they targeted. They advertised on conservative platforms. And they have now become butthurt by Tucker Carlson's comments. They didn't want it to, make them look bad.
Right. Didn't want
the whole nonsense of boycotts, and said they're pulling their ads from Tucker Carlson. Here's the problem. Scotty Vest was the target of a boycott.
Man, people forget quickly.
By conservatives. Why, Brad Staggs? Tell that story.
Because Scotty Vest CEO Scott Jordan, and this was back in January of this year, he said his company advertises on Fox News because their viewers are, quote, extremely gullible and, quote, and effing idiots.
Brad, he targeted conservatives, and is it more conservatives or liberal people that would view
those
Fox News?
Those would be conservative people viewing Fox News. So he, after dissing the entire audience, first of all, they're back advertising to the same audience, and then, like you said, claiming to be butthurt from the words spoken by Tucker Carlson, which may or may not have been insensitive. It's ridiculous. The guy, Scott Jordan, a hypocrite at best. And again, I hate it because the product, it's like there's a yellow tool company. They make good stuff, but the people that run them just, and that's the same way with Scotty Vest. Really irritates me because it's good stuff, but you don't want, it's the cell company thing. AT&T may have the best coverage anywhere of all things, but you're still contributing to really crappy causes.
Right.
And that's the same thing you're doing when you buy things like Scotty Vest. You're contributing to some people who
Brad,
really don't have your best interest
This
at
is
heart.
a guy, number one, who trashed conservatives and is back advertising on Fox to build it up. Now, this was not simply he said something that a conservative or others may find triggering. You called immigrants dirty and whatever. This was insulting his
ahead.
customer
Yes.
base.
Straight on.
So a little bit different. But he had to deal with all of the boycotts and backlash. He knows what stuff is like where you can't simply make a mistake and have people forgive you.
Right.
He should know better, right?
He should. He should know better. But the fact of the matter is, he's disingenuous to begin with. And that's the problem. And those are the people that you have complaining about the what Tucker Carlson said, which again may or may not be insensitive.
Coming up right after the first of the year, I will be launching Docky Vests, which
do they have a bunch of different pockets in them?
Actually, just holes.
Good idea.
It's just some old coats I have.
Nice.
And listen, I think you are the smartest audience out there. You're brilliant. That's the reason I would advertise on my own company's platform.
Right.
Because I think you're brilliant.
Brilliant beyond
buying anyone.
I think they might be. They're kind of stupid.
Okay, cool.
They're
That's
dumb enough
fine.
to believe it. I mean,
what a moron. Think about this. I'm going to insult my customer base.
And still, well, and the worst part
His
is
problem was his customer base was not accepted.
Right.
Jackholes.
Right. And let me just tell you, go back, although they've probably scrubbed most of it from their social media, they, for weeks and if not months, and still to this day, you'll still find the errant comment in there about how the people will never buy your product again after calling us effing idiots and being gullible and all of this. But people do tend to forget these things rather quickly, which kind of sucks. Just saying. Oh, by the way, Zocking around the Christmas tree. Dominic's is also
Zocking around the Christmas tree.
He's also a floor wax.
What is that?
Dominic is also a floor wax. He's a dessert topping. Brad Staggs, that is him. I recognize his voice from his Facebook videos and his attitude. So true Southern Jackhole.
Wait, who's that?
True Southern Jackhole said that the guy in the picture is the guy that just called because he said he recognizes his voice. I've never heard of this. I mean, I don't understand.
Maybe he's right, but we also had people said they recognize the voice and it's stunt brain, and I'm telling you,
And to me, it sounded like Joe Pesci. I mean, Joe Pesci could be. Who knows?
I mean, I know Brian Sack, too. Right. Brian's a good guy, but he's pretty good at putting one over on us. Stunt brain's not that great, putting one over on us.
And believe me, why'd you take the phone call if you didn't know who it was?
Why
not?
Comments? Comments?
Why not?
202-866-7466 if you want to comment on this boycotting thing. So the Scotty Vest thing is pretty annoying because the guy should know better. He's, you know what I hate too? I hate that he's advertising again on Fox to try to win back the audience he insulted.
Well, and apparently,
I mean, am I wrong in his mistake doesn't seem like it seems like his mistake was a mistake in saying what he thought,
because
he really thinks
he really thinks you're a bunch of idiots and that you're gullible.
Here's the irony: if they start buying his products again,
they are really gullible.
Then he's made his point.
Yes.
Do you see my problem with that? Yeah. I can give a greater pass to any of these other comments where Joe Scarborough or something trashes Christians. I may not like it and whatever. But he didn't say, hey, I'm slickering them because they're dumb.
Right.
And by the way, hey, I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah.
You're slickering them again. I am. It's difficult.
I know. It's like a minefield.
Let me pause. I'm going to get some more calls here to 202-866-7466. But before I do, hang on. I would hope that those people that have listened and been a part of this broadcast or others over the years, going all the way back to Cleveland and Richmond and other places that I've worked, other shows I fill in for, like Joe Pags or whatever.
Right.
And I would think most of the jackholes know that they can believe most of what I say. They understand, right? They get the difference when we're joking and it's satire. They understand all that. And they would understand, or do understand, that I'm pretty transparent about things. I would hope that you're smart enough to recognize that there are times when there are things I, as much as I want to, cannot say at this time or at that time. Because of certain restrictions that would be very, very bad for me or my family or other people I work with. Now, there will come a point that I stand on principle when talking about those things as I have stood on principle at detriment to my career at other times. Over the years, I have said things while standing on principle that have gotten me in a lot of trouble. Look at my career, right? I should be much more successful with the amount of work I put in. But as I've told you before, I simply will not own a Chevy automobile ever. If I can avoid it at all, I am not supporting them. I will not. And Chrysler, you know how much money I've lost over the years? Tens of thousands of dollars in advertising and pissed off companies to the point I was almost fired for trashing them on the air. I won't do it.
Right.
Standing on principle. There are things that I've tried to say and wanted to say recently, and I've tried to lead you down the path. And I am and have been right on the edge of talking about all of those things that will cost me hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars in legal fees. And I'm this close to doing it anyway, much to my wife going, please don't do this. And I've told her, just be aware, I may get to a point if people keep dicking with me. It's out. It's coming, right? I got fired on my honeymoon when I worked in Cincinnati after moving my wife to the area over promises over the course of several years where they went back and forth and all of this stuff. And they begged me, the local media kept tell us what happened, tell us write a story. And I just faded away into that good night. Over and over throughout my career, I didn't discuss things. I take the high road. I just move on. Live well. I got this. But the continued of screwing with me, and even more importantly, the people I work with,
right,
and even more than that, the listeners and other people, infuriates me. It's a scam artist and a bully who's continuing to prey on people. And unfortunately, at this point, if you want to see this platform grow where we can have greater power and someday really talk about this stuff, I cannot fully go into detail. But I would hope you trust me that these things are not made up. As much as it may seem far-fetched or sour grapes or I'm bitter, look at my track record of taking the high road and helping people. Look at my track record of not telling you how much I have helped people and how much I give to charity and everything else and avoiding those things. The person who's actually out meeting people. Doug's in town. Hey, Doug, how you doing?
Doing good.
Doug, where are you from?
Stockton, California.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Doug listens to the program. Doug emailed and said, hey, I'm in town. You want to have a beer? What did we do last night, Doug?
Had a beer.
Don't talk about the rest of it, though.
Right.
All right.
Right?
Don't mention the animals.
How many people you know just go, sure, come on, let's have a beer or whatever? I wouldn't think that a lot of people on radio and TV do this. Why? Because I like Doug. I like the people that are listeners. We've created a community here because you're all jackholes, right?
Did he hit on you, Doug?
All right, get away from me, Doug. Thanks, bud.
Don't mention the blow-up sheet.
Yeah, don't mention the blow-up sheet. So I bring that up because I had some online criticism yesterday, and I would just say I apologize that I've even headed down that road. But my hands feel so tied not being able to help people and expose the truth and keep people from being scammed by a cheesy 70s televangelist. You know what I mean? That and I want to, and at some point I may be forced to. My wife's screaming at me, don't do this stuff.
It's tough when you see a situation that.
Let's move on.
Yeah, that's probably
headed down that road and didn't mean to.
Good idea.
All right. By the way, I got to mention one of our advertisers here, traguns.com.
You know, TRA Guns, or as Matlock yesterday was describing the how did you say, Matt, to remember TRA Guns? What were the three words? You said like
Tom Robert Adam.
Tom Robert Adam.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
No, it's just TRA Guns. Or why don't you just think of TRA Guns as being Tar River Arms Guns? TRA Guns.
I wasn't thinking. You know, I have other things to do on a show. I don't get to sit on that side. I got to sit on that side.
I remember it by Turtle River Alfalfa.
Yes.
Is how I remember. Just rolls right off there.
Perfect. Turtle River Alfalfa. I'll do that today.
See, I would think that
like,
just by thinking TRA.
Because they just came up with this random TRA.
Tar River Arms TRA Guns.
Right.
I'm thinking.
When I said it, I thought that was the guy's name. I thought his name was
Yeah.
I was like, his name's Todd Robert.
Just remember, if you're
Tom Robert Adam.
TomRobertAdamGuns.com.
It just sounds manly because guns aren't really manly either. I don't know why I did it.
It works for him, though.
I think Matlock started drinking again.
It started?
What happened?
That would indicate he stopped.
The fact of the matter is, is that one about the...
Well, and remember, later on his broadcast, he's going to tell you that he actually stands and agrees with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
That's a good point. I'd forgotten about that, but he is going to say that. They are having a clearance sale over at TRA Guns, which could be tarriverarms.com, but it is traguns.com, and I'm looking for the shoot. They're having a clearance sale, and one of the guns was that SIG that I mentioned yesterday.
Is it still there?
It's I'm still looking for the email. You'd think I would have been. Had I had a little heads up, I would have known to be looking for it. But I didn't have a heads up, so
Anyways, tarriverarms.com. It's veteran owned and operated. They do a great job. You're going to get great deals, and don't take our word for it. Go and look at tarriverarms.com and see all of the guns that they have up there, and you'll see the prices.
Yeah, it's still the Sig Sauer P938 Nightmare micro compact 9mm pistol is $535, marked down from $815. That's just one of the guns that's on basically clearance sale at TRA Guns, which could be Thomas Robert Alfred Guns.com or just simply
Tar River Arms at traguns.com. All right, get to some more calls. I've got a sidetrack today. Call from Ohio. Hey, call from Ohio, area code 216. What's up?
Hey, Doc.
Hey there.
It's Roz.
Roz. Hey, Roz. How you doing there?
Oh, just fine. Came over to MoJo with you.
Oh, thanks so
much. How could I
much.
leave you?
Now,
yeah,
Roz,
and I'll tell you guys, he really has gone out to see people way back when.
Roz, what's the restaurant we went to? What's over in Ohio City there, across the way?
Yeah, University Inn.
Oh, that's great food. I'd never been there. Roz and I hooked up. Who are we? Who was with us? Was it Skip? Who was?
Skip and Tiger.
Oh, that's right. My son Tiger was there too. So yeah.
You take the whole family out when you go, don't you?
Well, I don't know when someo's going to shiv me, and I just throw the kids out there in front then. So they kind of my protector. Shield is what I say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Roz, thanks so much for joining us. Yeah.
I've got to say, too, on the boycott issue, I have been boycotting one of your favorite restaurants.
Who's that?
Wendy's. For
what Wendy's do?
20 years.
What they do?
Dave Thomas Foundation.
You're ruining the Baconator for me. What?
I'm sorry.
They support what?
I'm sorry. They support these adoption websites that the state puts out. Now, I haven't talked to you about it, but I have been helping families fight children's services for over 20 years. And those sites look like a slave site. This is Johnny. Johnny has this disability. Johnny likes reading books, but he needs to, it just is.
I haven't figured out the fail with it. What's the problem when you say they treat them like slaves? You mean they're working them?
No, it's like check their teeth.
Oh, they're treating like they're auctioning them off type thing?
Like a horse?
Yeah, it's like they're. It looks like it's the old slave auctions. Plus, back then when I started, children's services, yes, there's a place for them, but they overstep a lot.
Oh, okay. So it's more government-esque, is what you're saying too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the government, they not enough. Heck, we've had, I don't know if you're keeping up on hometown stuff, but in the last 2 years, 4 children have died because of Cuyahoga County's lack of oversight in children's services. Meanwhile, I'm helping families who should not have even been bothered by children's services. We can't get them to the right houses.
Well, and there's, I think most people recognize there's a huge problem with children's services in general, whatever, and the foster home system. Listen, they've helped a lot of people, there's no doubt, but the lack of oversight, because government cannot do this stuff, and then sending these kids from home to home where you're not there, we got away from the idea of foster or of homes where all the kids are in there. What do you call it? Where orphanages. Orphanages is because it just seems so non-loving and all of this stuff. But isn't that at least easier to control or inspect and stuff rather than try to go in each and every home?
Yes, it is. And a lot of the times you have, and being a dad, you'll get this one, you have a 23-year-old who's never changed a diaper telling you how to raise your 10-year-old ADHD boy.
Well, they went to college, though, for, family counseling or something like that. So they're experts, Raj,
Oh, no. To get into children's services, you need to have a bachelor's degree. They train you from there. It can be in basket weaving in a lot of areas. Okay?
Well, Raj, good to hear from you. Thanks so much for updating me. I'll do a little bit more investigating. It better be awful because I don't know if I can get my Baconator, but I'll stand with you. And I hope you understand the difference between the boycott and just not giving them your money.
Well, that's what boycott should be personal.
There it is.
Like
that's
mine.
it. Right. Exactly. You've just chosen not to support them.
When Wendy's owned Arby's, I didn't eat any Arby's either. They own Krispy Kreme. I don't eat Krispy Kreme.
Okay,
what do you eat anymore? There's no food left.
Actually, my favorite go-to anymore, because I am on the road, is within Cuyahoga County, is Steak and Shake.
Oh, I do like the Steak and Shake. Roz, thanks. I appreciate the comment. We got to skate and wrap this up, but have a great day, okay? University Inn, if you're in that area. When we go on the tour, guys.
Yes.
We go through, there's so many places I want to stop. University Inn's awesome.
Where's that?
Near west side of Cleveland, like Ohio City, overlooking the river.
I was thinking of the place in Atlanta, but I guess not.
No, that's the University. Overrated.
It's like the burger place.
Yes,
right?
Overrated.
I think I'm with you on that.
It's not bad. It's just way over. Have you been to University? And I think they have one at the airport.
Actually, I got a funny story I'll tell you later about that.
Maybe we'll get to that tomorrow. We got to wrap things up here. I think we covered everything. All right, here we go.
What do you mean it's let's go?
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
I got to do this.
What?
You know what?
What?
I said cousin John was in. John, whatever.
You said
his son did the show close for us.
Okay.
We recorded him do the show close out there.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think he didn't do the first part of it, so we'll do the first part. Here we go. Get that part up, and then we'll get
What do you mean it's let's go?
All righty, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. End of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned Brad does not sniff his own socks.
I didn't say that, technically.
His own socks.
That's exactly right.
Okay, got you.
Exactly.
We learned that the real problem with samurai swords in schools is the cultural appropriation.
Right.
There's no danger from them.
Of course not.
The real danger is you culturally appropriating something from the Japanese community.
Yes. That's exactly what the problem
Bradley
is.
J. Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
Well, I learned that having a secular Christmas is like taking a class in mathless arithmetic.
Yes, that is exactly right.
See what I did that? I learned that the study that concluded women are hornier than men think they are didn't take into account the marriage curve.
They're what?
the marriage curve.
Oh yeah,
because that doesn't work. I did learn if you're in Colorado Springs with your collection of samurai swords and you get really sleepy, do not nap on school grounds. Apparently, they frown upon that.
I don't like that so much, prudes.
And finally, I learned that the Olympic nunchuck swinging team got really good news yesterday. They're constitutional.
Oh,
see,
nice.
The nunchuck swinging team can now practice for the Olympics because that's what they would do if they're the Olympic nunchuck swinging team.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Over
Hopefully
at
it's better than what we learned.
Yes, well, given what we have. John Lair learned my daughter, who's in 8th grade, gets to debate why letting invaders come to this country, but cannot say why we have to keep them out. See? That's what they're teaching in school.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're going to teach a debate like that over an issue like this, and by the way, I think my values and ideas are well known. I'm okay with them saying, hey, as part of a debate exercise, you may have to debate a side you don't agree with, right? Just for the purpose of the debate and to learn. Exactly. And number two, to represent sides I don't agree with. I'm not trying to stop people. No. Listen, if you're going to teach or discuss one of these issues in schools like illegals, immigration, something like that, fine, as long as it's truly represented on both sides. And if you're a teacher and you want to teach and you're not doing that, you're not a teacher. You're a propagandist. Propagandist.
Exactly. Backyard Cows learned if you're buying Scotty Vest overpriced crap, you are gullible.
You know what? That's
Backyard Cows.
Let's just move on.
Emily Peterson over on the Facebook said, it's not a weekday morning until I see tall, shining wood.
Thank you.
Right there behind you.
Yes, that too.
We like to refer to it as the phallic forest. Over on the Twitter, Lori D and her big metaphorical something, Skip Lacombe is a shiv shield.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, well, that's why he doesn't restraining order and all that. Kinsey Richards learned TRA guns is getting in the way of some good TNA.
Okay.
See there?
That.
Yep. Stop me anytime.
TarRiverArms.gun at TRAguns.com.
TarRiverArms.com.
TRAguns.com.
Or Thomas Robert Albert.
Whatever.
Jeff Westbrook learned, Doc Thompson, of course you are going to say it is not stunt brain. It would mess up the punk. It's not stunt brain.
It's not the Tuma.
It's not the Tuma.
All right, here's what we'll do for tomorrow.
What?
Here's what we'll do. We'll get Stunt Brain on the air or a clip of him, and we'll play it next to... we got that podcast that you can listen to the show. So we got the recording of today and yesterday. First of all, I want to compare yesterday and today. And then we'll play it next to Stunt Brain.
Right.
Although Stunt Brain is from Chicago.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what testudo means, right? At the end of his little drill. What?
I don't know what it means.
You don't know?
So we'll ask him that.
Ron, you know what testudo means, right? Wow. Okay. You guys not know these things? Cincy Browncoat learned Doc Thompson has a secret crush on Carlos Danger.
Oh, because I use Carlos?
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, a lot of times I'll use Carlos Quagliata after Candy Quagliata.
The Poltitsky twins.
Right. I actually, years ago, I was forced to give an alternate name quickly. And I went Carlos, and I don't know, because I had candy on the mind. I went to Quagliata. I could have went to Poltitsky, but I didn't.
You could have. And let's be frank, in Pennsylvania, maybe Doc Thompson's show could remember the name of Stunt Brain's program, 2-Minute Drill, if he thought of it as a sexual innuendo for his average performance.
I got it. You're right, because what did I say, 2-minute warning?
Yes, you did.
A 2-minute drill.
It'd be more like the 30-second warning.
You know what? Frank at PA, now I do. That's how I'll remember it.
See?
Was it Frank at PA?
Yeah, it was Frank at PA.
Okay, good.
Look at you.
He actually helped me. Good for you.
See?
Hey, I just realized I had to get the new numbers on procrastination. We'll do those tomorrow. What else? Something.
We got that thing.
Matlock's going to tell you why he thinks Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is brilliant. He actually agrees with her. I guess that's it.
That's very scary.
So Owen, John's son, gave us this. Today's program is, of course, a service of Guy Behind the Glass.
That's Ron.
And then he said...
Success returns. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. I'm young now. You go home.
There it is.
See?
Wrapped it up.
Spreading the love.